The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. See here, buddy. Even Macho. Evan, you're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com. The best in the business. Say it to Macho.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the youth gambling guys, come on. Hey, that's my food.
Talking radio show from 7 to whenever we get done. It's like using a screwdriver. Track, roast, beef, this is whatever shine. The other half of the rock and wrestling connection. That's the jockey one and the loony one together.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan Koloff. I'm here to tell you about Talking Trash. The Trash. 7 to 10. Tuesday night, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. I'm Taylor, the animal. One half of the world on the take in the road when you're looking at them. If you know what's good for you, listen to Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Mike Tony. What do you got to say about Trash Talking Radio? I gotta say that I just bought Trash Talking Radio. You're out of picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch because what you gonna do? What's all over? It's brand new Trash Talking Radio. What's wild on you? This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this. Vital Idol tells you it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am the top of pop, the king of swing, the international rock star, way above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the Vital Idol, Classy Mike Trash, and thank you very much.
It is Trash Talking Radio Tuesday night. It's the best night of the week, as we said on the... Oh, listen to that. I gotta figure out what that noise is. Never heard that noise before. Hold on there. I gotta figure out what I did here. Okay. There we go. Now, that's a little better. Okay, now what about us? Okay. I gotta figure out where that sound's coming from. I'm hearing
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, I hear it. Oh, that's weird. It's a delay. I gotta figure out where the delay is coming from. That's really odd. Why is that doing that? I only see us coming in on one channel and I hear us. I gotta hear what this is. This is a... It's weird. I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's coming from my computer that we broadcast to. So, as odd as that is, now I got to figure out how to turn it down. Okay. Well, let's see. Are we on? Did we come on yet? Yeah, we're on. Okay. Okay. So now I got to figure out what that noise is. I never hear it before because I'm on the other side of the room. So now I'm hearing it. Now I got to see if it's over here. Oh, I know what I could do. All right. Oh, I do. Okay. So Let's do that. Hold on here. Let's see. Well, can we mute it? Check. Ah, I did it. Wait. Is it there? Nope, it's not there. I gotta mute the other one. Okay, hold on here. We'll mute it there. Check 1, 2. Ah, got it. Yeah, now we're ready to go. Whew, that's a long process to go through. The problem is I tore the studio apart at 5 o'clock. And I thought, this is going to be real easy. I'm going to move this stand over here, and I'm going to do this and that. And I never thought, you got a show tonight. You got a time deadline. And as always, you run into problems. And guess what? Ran into problems. And so I knew I was going to run into problems, and I proved myself right. So, Doug, how you doing?
I am doing great.
I'm
really great. How are you?
I'm great now that I got things working. Last week we had me, I had a duty on Thursday or Wednesday. Either day. Any day. I had a special trash talking edition. My friend Bobby Rydell lined up an interview that he wanted me to do with one of his new ministers, and the kid's like in his 30s and stuff, and he's from El Salvador. So I did this interview with him, and it was actually a pretty good interview. I was kind of happy with it because I had no idea who he was. I had very little information on him, and I ran with it, and it came out pretty good. So it's being distributed amongst the church. So the church now knows who Trash Talking Radio is.
That'll scale.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I did a really good interview though. I was really happy with it. But that was fun. And then let's see, what else did I do this week? I got 2 dogs now bugging me. They waited till the show started. Then they came down. They weren't down here the whole time that I was working on the studio because they didn't want to help. Now that I'm done, they're down here bugging me for treats already. What? You are just a pest. That's all. All right. I'll give you a treat now, but I don't want you bugging me all night. I got both of you down here. One for you. One for you. All right. Now, anyway, so it's been pretty. It's weird because I'm in a different angle now than I've been for a while. But this is the way I used to be. I used to be back in this corner, and I moved down to the corner because I figured I'd try a different angle. And I liked the other angle for a while, but then, I don't know, I decided I needed to go back to this angle because I can be much more organized this way. Now I've got all these wires everywhere. I can't believe how many wires were here that I don't use anymore. It's funny. So, but anyway, today's show is sponsored by me. No, we got one death. We got, let's see. Now I'm corrupting people at large. Yeah. I sound clearer? Wow. I don't know why that is. Maybe because, I don't know. I'm just, I had to rewire the studio real quickly because I couldn't get the system working.
You know, Mike, most people wouldn't have started this at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I was hoping my email would be back up so I could work on the show, but because my email is down, it really screwed up everything. But I'm going to blame them, whether or not they were the real reason. Anyway, all right, let's get this thing rolling. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. First thing I want to talk about was James Earl Jones died. That was sad. I mean, that guy, talk about a man who changed the way people think and changed and defied the odds. He was born in 1931. Jeez. I mean, imagine the time frame, 1931. Black people were not really given any kind of chances in life. So I found it very interesting that he was a role model for a lot of people. And and a strange thing, do you know how much money he made on the first Star Wars? $7,000.
Oh my goodness.
Now, that's not even bad enough. Not only did he only make $7,000, he wasn't on the credits. Can you imagine being on the biggest movie of the year, or of who knows how many years, and you're in the movie, but you're not on the credits? I would have been furious. But, you know, they did add him to the credits, I believe. But man, that guy, that's an interesting man. I really thought he was a cool guy, and I would have loved to have met him. So, anyway, all right, let's watch the video for him. Here it comes.
James Earl Jones, an iconic figure in the world of acting, passed away on September 9, 2024, at the age of 93. Known for his commanding voice and unparalleled stage presence, Jones had a career that spanned over 6 decades, making him one of the most respected and beloved actors of his time. Born in Arcabougla, Mississippi, on January 17, 1931, Jones faced significant challenges early in life. As a child, he struggled with a severe stutter that rendered him almost mute for several years. However, he overcame this challenge through poetry and public speaking, eventually discovering his passion for acting. He credited a high school teacher with helping him find his voice, both literally and figuratively, leading him to pursue a career in the performing arts. Jones began his professional acting career on the stage, making his Broadway debut in 1957. His powerful performances quickly garnered attention, and in 1969, he won his first Tony Award for his portrayal of boxer Jack Jefferson in The Great White Hope, a role he also reprised in the film adaptation, earning him an Academy Award nomination. His success on Broadway continued with roles in Fences, for which he won another Tony, and numerous other productions, solidifying his reputation as a stage actor of the highest caliber. In addition to his stage work, Jones became a household name for his voice work. His deep, resonant voice became iconic, most notably as the voice of Darth Vader in the Star Wars franchise. His portrayal of the Sith Lord remains one of the most memorable performances in cinematic history, with his voice becoming synonymous with the character. Jones also lent his voice to the character of Mufasa in Disney's The Lion King, a role that endeared him to audiences of all ages and further cemented his legacy as a voice actor. Jones's contributions to the arts were recognized with numerous awards throughout his career. He won 3 Tony Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2017. He also received 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, a Grammy Award, and an Honorary Academy Award, making him one of the few performers to achieve EGOT status. His work on stage, screen, and television earned him accolades from the industry and fans alike. Beyond his professional achievements, Jones was known for his humility, kindness, and dedication to his craft. He remained active in the industry well into his later years, continuing to inspire new generations of actors. In 2022, the Court Theater on Broadway was renamed the James Earl Jones Theater in his honor, a testament to his enduring impact on the world of theater. Jones's legacy extends beyond his roles and awards. He was a trailblazer for African American actors, breaking barriers in a time when opportunities were limited. His success opened doors for countless others, and he remained a mentor and advocate for diversity in the arts throughout his life. James Earl Jones is survived by his son, Flynn Earl Jones, and leaves behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations to come. His voice, both literally and figuratively, will continue to resonate in the hearts of fans and in the halls of theaters around the world. The world of entertainment has lost one of its greatest talents, but his influence will live on in the performances he left behind and the inspiration he provided to countless others.
So there you go. A legend, a real legend.
Yeah, he was a trailblazer,
Yes.
and he crossed the color barrier because white people liked him.
Yeah.
And That was hard to do when he came through. When he
Absolutely,
started.
absolutely, and he became signature voice for many different things. I think was it AT&T or one of those. He did,
What was it? Yeah.
yeah. But he was truly one of a kind, and yeah, I would have loved to have met him. I didn't realize he was that old either. I thought he was younger than that, but you know, it's tough. It's when we start losing our heroes, our people that we grew up watching. I mean, I can't believe I keep thinking these guys are, you know, in their 30s or 40s or 50s, and no, they're in their 90s and 80s and 90s. You know, it's funny, but
See, my favorites are all passing away.
yeah.
Yeah.
All the people we
And-
watched, and you know, Clint Eastwood's still out there. He's in his 90s.
Yeah, and he's still working.
Yep.
That's pretty.
That's it. The key is you got to stay working, keep busy, and don't get bored.
Well, I believe that, Mike. I tell people all the time, you've got to have a purpose when you retire. You
Yeah.
have to have, because if you don't, you just sit, watch TV, drink coffee and beer, and die.
Yeah, I think I'm on that train. I think I keep myself real busy, and for better or for worse, I'm definitely busy. Speaking of which, so I don't know. I think last week I may have mentioned it, that I had that job for New York and they canceled it on me. Did I talk about
Yes.
that? Okay,
Yes.
they're back again. They apparently couldn't replace me. They want me to come up on a Sunday now, and so I may be doing that. Looks like on the 22nd or something. I think the 22nd. So I'm probably going to do it because it's another credit, you know. So
Sure.
I'm thinking I'm going to have to do it. They're supposed to
You
get back to me
more
with.
work than a lot of professionals, real professionals.
Well, you know, what do you mean real professional? Am I a fake professional? What are you saying?
Well, I just, your acting career is the same as your, right now, the same as your wrestling career.
Oh,
It's acting.
I think acting is probably. I'm busier because of acting than anything. Actually, I made. I want to play these. Since you led me right into it, I wanted to do this anyway. So, I did these two clips on my advisor, I guess you would call her, said that I should do some clips from things that are already out there. So that's what I'm going to do. I have a clip from The Sopranos and a clip from Better Call Saul. Have you watched either of those?
No, I
Oh.
haven't.
Okay, well,
But that's okay. I'll just look at the quality.
well, the one I'm not sure about the one because, well, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. That's perfect. You didn't ever see them, then you can tell me how it hits you. I'm not going to explain. I was going to explain to you what was going on, but I think I'll do it. I think I'll do it after. I'll let you give me your takeaways, and then I'll tell you what was going on in the scene. And see, I want to see if it bleeds into what you're watching, and you can understand what was going on.
So I have a question for
Yeah.
you. If I criticize you, am I canceled?
Yeah. Oh, have you met the HR department? That's me. All right, I'm going to play. Which one would you like to see first? Sopranos or Better Call? You never watched? Did you watch Breaking Bad?
No.
Oh boy, you're okay.
I'm not much of a TV or movie guy.
Okay, well then this is going to be interesting to see what you think because these are basically they're based. Well, they're not based on the show. They're from the show. The Sopranos is from episode 2, so it was just when the show was taken off. And I'm just gonna play it. Let you. Oh, maybe I'm gonna play it. Wait a minute. All right, where'd I put it? Hold on. It's not there. Okay, I know where it is. I thought I put it on here twice, but I guess I didn't. All right, let me find. Here we go. All right. I'm going to play Tony Soprano. I apologize in advance because there's a few obscenities because that's the way he was.
I don't have virgin ears.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I'm saying it in advance. Here we go. Class of My Trash from Dauphin, Pennsylvania, and I'm reading the part of Tony Soprano. Ma, it's Virginia Ham.
Smithfield, have more.
No, that was good though, Ma.
You never let me teach you. I suppose I should feel honored today.
Getting back to what we were...
You want that lamp?
Ma, lie down.
This lamp. It's real ormolu. You know what that costs new?
No, Ma, thanks. We're fixed good lamp-wise.
Take it, and the Barker Lounger. Somebody should take all this before I die, or it's just going to be here for the junk man to haul off to the dump.
Ma, you're not ready to die.
Listen to him. God speaks right to him.
You're not gonna die. Your stuff's not gonna be hauled to the dump. But you should start planning for the future. You got the most rewarding chapter of your life coming up.
You know my good jewelry?
The stuff from Dad? Some of those pieces were right out of Cartier's window. I don't want it. Not now. What we want is for you to live long and wear your sparklers to your grandchildren's graduations.
I gave it all to your cousin Josephine.
What the fuck? The jewelry?
She always admired it. They don't have much money.
Goddamn cousin gets the Cartier dinner rings, and I get a vibrating chair.
Your wife never expressed any interest in my jewels, and she never complimented me on any of them as I remember.
Listen to me. Before you do any more serious damage to yourself or to your grandchildren's inheritance, you're going to have to give up living by yourself. That's it. Basta.
I'm not going into that nursing home.
Green Grove is a retirement community. It's more like a hotel at Captain Teeb's.
Who's he?
The captain owns luxury hotels and something like that. The point is, I talked to Mrs. DiCaprio over there, and they have a corner suite with a woods view. It's available now, but it'll go fast.
Sure, they have a suite available. Somebody died.
Ma, stop it. Stop. I can't take it anymore. This poison cloud.
Oh, poor you.
You know what, Mom? I got problems at work, got problems at home. A friend of mine's been diagnosed with cancer. Lots of parents would be grateful their yuppie children put as much thought into this as I do.
I'm not going to that place.
Then I'll go to court, get a durable power of attorney over you, and place you there.
Kill me now. Get into the ham and get the carving knife and just stab me. Please. That would hurt a lot less than what you just said.
I know seniors who are inspired. So that's the first one.
Okay, tell me the background.
Okay. First off, hi Jen. Hi Mike. The background is Tony Soprano is the big boss of a mafia. Okay, his mother and him have a really rocky relationship. Always had a rocky relationship, and so she set her house on fire, and she's kind of been diagnosed with kind of an Alzheimer's thing. So she can't be alone, but she has a person coming there every day, but she's not full time. So he's trying to get her a place where she can be safe, because she almost set her house on, well, she did set her house on fire. So that's the background. So I could relate to the mother, though. Even though I never had to worry about my mother burning her place up. But
Patty's mom's not that bad either, but she is resistant to going into
yep.
personal care.
Well, they think that it's it's really not what it was when we were kids. I had an aunt and an aunt that had to go into a nursing home, and that was pretty bad. But my mother ended up in a nursing home, and it really wasn't that bad. It really, surprisingly, was okay. I mean, she didn't want to be there, but the only reason she didn't want to be there is she wanted to be home. But they really treated her pretty good there. At least when I was there, they did. So, I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, I don't think I'd want to be there. I want my freedom. So, but my mother couldn't drive. She couldn't, she couldn't get around, and there was no better place for her because we weren't equipped to take care of her.
Well, Patty's mother would have all kinds of friends because they do communal eating right now.
Yeah. That's one thing the nice about that is that one thing about most of us in my family, we're not very sociable. So that's one thing that would probably put me into shock and kill me because there'd be people around me all the time. So, but I thought that that scene I thought overall was what I wanted it to be. I had a little, it wasn't perfect. It was just, the reactions to what she was saying, I thought what came off believable. I thought it was believable that because Tony Soprano was Tony Soprano, he would blow his stack easily. So I'm not sure how they do that. What's that, really? And you're such a social butterfly. Yeah, I'm a social butterfly. But that was that one, and I'll probably not. That's a long clip. That's a 3-minute clip. I don't think I can use 3 minutes of it, but I'm going to see what my counselor says about it.
Well, definitely use the part where you get mad.
Yeah,
that was believable.
Well, that's what they want. They want to see that you're more than one dimension.
Right.
And whenever you're multi-dimensional. Now, this next clip, Better Call Saul. I'll tell you right now, he is a lawyer who keeps getting in trouble. He is the lawyer in Breaking Bad. He defended the drug dealers and took care of the bad guys. So that's really I think if you know that much, the rest will make sense. The first scene, they're in the desert in the first scene. So there's 2 scenes or short scenes. This one's, like I said, this is Better Call Saul. Classic Mike Trash, Dolphin, Pennsylvania, and I'm playing the part of Saul Goodman, or Jimmy. His real name is Jimmy McGill, and he goes by Saul Goodman. You and me, we're sitting on $7 million here, literally.
And?
I say we split it 50-50 and take off.
It's not ours.
It could be.
I know some people who have a problem with that.
Them? Forget about them.
Are you feeling right?
The first thing we do, we take $6 million and put it into building a time machine. Those people you're worried about, they're never going to find us. Where do you go first? Looking at you, I'd say you're a history. The Civil War. No. Ancient Rome.
December 8th, 2001.
Why?
No, March 17th, 1984. The day I took my first bribe. And then I go forward. I got some people I'd want to check on 5-10 years from now. Make sure they're doing okay. You?
Easy. May 10th, 1965. The day Warren Buffett took over Berkshire Hathaway. There'd still be $1 million left from building the time machine. I'd take my half straight into Berkshire. I'd pop back here and I'd be a billionaire. More. Is there such a thing as a trillionaire?
Money? That's it?
What else?
Nothing you change.
I'm rested. Keep up, Bill. You've hit the jackpot.
Advisory council?
This puts you on the map, amigo. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna grab a flight to Omaha, Nebraska, ASAP. There's nothing direct. You have to connect through Houston.
Who's paying for this?
You are. Listen, you hear that?
Hear what?
Bang, bang. It's opportunity knocking. Get off your ass and open the door. On your way to the airport, you gotta make some calls. Find out which assistant U.S. attorney is catching this case. My money's on George Castellano. Whoever it is, tell him we're ready to talk. I want to get on this before they extradite me to New Mexico. All hands on deck here in Omaha. No later than 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Wait, hold on. Even supposing, hypothetically, I'm willing to take this on.
Willing? Bill, this is a career maker. Get real. You're doing this.
The DA has a warehouse of evidence against you. I can't even imagine what the feds are sitting on. And no matter who your lawyer is, you are screwed. So I've got to ask, where do you see this ending?
Where do I see this ending? With me on top. Like always. So the first one, he's in a desert, and they're taking a break from their long walk. That's why I looked all sunburned and everything. And the second one was I'm in jail, and I'm calling for a lawyer. So, a lawyer for my lawyer.
Like, you're pretty good. It's believable. When you're acting, I'm there.
Oh, good. Well, that's
there.
all I can ask for, you know.
You suck, but it's better than that.
Well, you know, it's you got to do something. You got to suck or you got to be good, you know.
How can you be both at the same time? That's what I want to know.
Well, you could be a porno star.
That's true.
But those were good shows, and they were the Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. They were written by some really good people, and I loved their writing and their directing and all that on those. It was very unique the way they directed that. They spent a whole episode about a fly. A fly flying around his head, and he was trying to cook meth, and there was this fly he was trying to capture and all that stuff. I mean, who else could do that? You're trying to have a serious show, and you have a dog being a pain. What? No. Are you going to come over here and get on camera? Anyway, that's one thing I like about it was that they weren't afraid to do, and they had unique angles with the cameras that nobody else would ever use. I liked their creativity, and I thought the actual show was pretty good too. So those are hopefully gonna do something for me. I mean, I'd like to see them get me some more work. That's one thing I'm missing is a good reel, and the footage that I got from the places I've already done just had me as, you know, I only have 1 or 2 lines. They wanted to see me as a leading man. So there's 2 of me as a leading man. So I really hope that they like it. So would you stop it? Stop it. Go lay down. Go.
I'm not doing anything.
Yes, you are. You're distracting the show. You're distracting me from my dog. He's such a pain half the time. But anyway, that's, you know, it's fun playing these parts, and I've learned a lot about a lot of about acting just through wrestling, but I found that a lot of the stuff that I was learning I didn't realize applied to acting. And it's just funny when they talk about being the genuine self. That is it. That's. But I never knew what that meant until I got into wrestling, because, I kept trying to figure out who I was. Who am I? And once I found that, the rest of it came right in. What? Go away. Go away. Your treats are hidden. You can't get them. You're not going to make me pull the curtain, then everyone sees behind the curtain. Go. Go away. Go. You won't listen to me. Anyway, so the first thing that I found interesting was that there's the judge on the case has delayed Trump's hush money sentencing till after the election. I found that interesting.
I'm surprised he did that.
Yeah. It was really interesting that they did that. So it must have been a Republican judge. Because last time they had things to throw at him, they threw at him right away. And if they were going to do it, they would want to do it before the election. I found that interesting. But yeah, kind of. I mean, this is going to get real ugly. I guess tonight is the first debate, too.
It has started. It will start in 9 minutes.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely talk about that next week, because, we can't really talk about it while we're watching the show, while we're doing the show. But, yeah. But I don't know. What do you think about them delaying the hush money sentencing?
Well, he must have got pressured by someone.
Okay.
Because he and of himself, I don't think would have done it.
Okay.
I think he got pressured. Don't know who, but somebody got to him.
Huh.
Because September 18th would have been, if he had got sentenced to jail, that would have been a huge problem.
Yeah.
And maybe the Democrats figured that would solidify his candidacy, because people would feel sorry for him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That could be. Yeah.
It could be. Could be. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I think, is that they said no, that would give, because every time something happens in a courtroom, his numbers go up.
Yes.
His approval numbers go up.
Yes. I'm really curious what's going to happen.
That.
I'm really curious what's going to happen after tonight. Because if he becomes the bully that he usually is,
he'll lose.
He could lose, yes. But then, on the other hand, the
independents won't like him.
Right. But the other side of the coin is they'll look at Harris and say she crumbled under pressure. So, I don't know. It's gonna this is gonna make a big difference one way or the other. So I don't know if people are gonna, the women are instantly gonna go and back Harris, especially if he's a bully, because then they're gonna, support woman power.
If she can't handle Trump, how's she gonna handle Putin?
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, I found out that I found out.
Or Xing in China. How's she going to handle them if she can't handle Trump?
Well, I can tell you, if this election is based on my band, and everything in the world is, Trump's going to win by a landslide, because my band, 4 out of 5 of us, were very strong. Or no, I'm sorry, 3 out of 5 of us were very strong pro-Trump. One of us was Trump because Harris shouldn't be there, and one of us was pro-Harris. So that was an interesting conversation that we had earlier this week, or late last week. Our bass player is so pro-Harris, I wanted to throw up. And the other guys were so pro-Trump, I wanted to throw up. So I'm somewhere in the middle. I want to be as far away of it. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So that's the first thing. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. All right. So there, Charles Barkley is in the news again.
What did he do this time?
Oh, actually, something pretty cool. Let me get rid of this. All right. Let me get rid of this. All right. He made a promise to donate $1 million to a New Orleans school after students solved a centuries-old mathematical equation. I thought that was pretty darn cool. Charles Barkley wasn't he always like a troublemaker?
When he played, he was, he spit on a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some issues in Philly.
Yeah.
But
I thought he did. You know, I never really followed much basketball, but the people you always hear about are the people that stand out, and he was a man who stood out. So anyway, he kept the promise, and basically roughly 4 months after the NBA legend Charles Barkley promised $1 million to St. Mary's Academy in New Orleans, the private school where two students cracked centuries-old mathematical equation, has received its first $100,000 from Barkley. The school will continue to receive a donation in installments over the next decade. So I thought that's kind of cool. You know, he actually kept his promise, and that's something a lot of people can't say they did. And that's a big promise.
That'll tell you just how much money he has.
Well, yeah, that too. That's true too.
Because I guess it's nothing for him to depart with $1 million.
Well, you know, it would be my.
Really only $100,000 a year. He's only departing with $100,000 a year.
That's what would have happened if I had gone back to Berkshire Hathaway back in the 1965 and invested in their stock. I'd be a trillionaire.
There was a whole science fiction show called Travelers, where they trained their finance guy in the stock market from the time that they went back to all the way to the present.
Wow.
And he was making the team billions of dollars because he knew how to invest and when to pull the money.
Wow. That's crazy. They know he's going to win the election, and they want to have a reason to get out of office. Okay. Of course, you're familiar with the U.S. Open, right?
Yes.
How much would you pay for a signature cocktail at the U.S. Open?
Well, since I don't drink, the answer's none. But maybe I would spend if I drank and wanted a signature cocktail, I might spend $45.
Oh, well, then this is a deal. 23 for a cocktail, and they surpassed $10 million in sales. I mean, that's insane. I was just thinking, you know, $10 million cocktail, signature cocktail. Make a honey deuce cocktail at home. You could save yourself a lot of money. Oh man, that's just crazy. I mean, I've never been one that drank, so I really couldn't understand that well, but somebody's got to drink, I guess. But yeah, that's something I read today, and I thought, okay. But let's try it again. How much would NFL fans pay for a beer and a hot dog at a stadium?
Beers are probably 15, and hot dogs probably 7.
Actually,
so
the average is $15 for a beer and a hot dog.
Beer and a hot dog.
And a hot dog.
Okay.
So, $15.02. is the average for the 2024 season. I would have never guessed that either, but, you know.
So you have 4 tickets, and it's all your family, and you go there, and you're going to buy 1 beer for you and your wife. So that's $30.
Yep.
And then you got to buy hot dogs and Cokes for your kids. So that's another $30.
Yep.
That's $60, and that's not counting all the other snacks your kids are going to want.
That's
and
correct.
1 hot dog's and 1 beer is not going to satisfy you.
You know
So
that.
you're going to have a couple beers. You're talking $200, $300.
Yep.
Just on food and drink alone.
You know, I remember when back when we were in college, you know, tickets for concerts, you know, I wouldn't pay those exorbitant prices. And what were they then? Probably $25 or something.
$25 for a top concert.
And now you're looking at, you know, oh man, I can't even imagine. I mean, some of these people pay thousands of dollars. Sometimes they pay like $1,500 or $2,500 to meet the band. And I'm thinking, wow, man, those times have changed. It's insane.
I'm glad I'm not young and wanting to go to concerts anymore. I
No.
have girls or guys that want to go to concerts.
Yeah.
I have kids.
Oh.
Being a minister, I don't make enough.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Being retired,
I'm
we
not
don't make
Joel-
enough
I'm not
either.
Joel Osteen.
Yeah, being retired, we don't make anything either. Jeez.
No.
The NFL, of course, is kicking off. It's kicking off the 2024. Have they started yet? They started already, right?
Oh yeah, they're one game in.
Okay.
1 weekend.
Let's see here. Here is who's your team?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. Okay, here we go. The Ravens lost to the Chiefs. The Packers lost to the Eagles. So the Eagles are up.
In Brazil.
Oh, man. That's fun.
They played in Brazil.
Steelers won against the Falcons. Cardinals. Hey, I'm going to revise my game that I used to play, but it's only for the Super Bowl. But we did a Super Bowl thing last year, and it was kind of fun because I made it so that one person isn't going to win just by picking the team. I made it a little more complicated. You got points for different things. So I'll probably do that again this year. So we'll keep an eye on who's playing. I don't have a preference. I don't care. But I still like to play. But I got my own way of doing this. And I lost bad last year, really bad. So I have nothing to lose. I can't lose any worse than I lost last year. Out of the 3 of us, I came in 3rd. So, and the one that came in 2nd was like 10 years old. So, shows how little I know. Anyway, so that's that. Oh, yeah. Jeff Bezos has an interesting rule in his house. He and his girlfriend do it every morning. Not do it. The ritual they do. Have any idea what it is?
Is it yoga?
No. It's actually a pretty good idea. It's actually, we're all tied to our phones.
So he puts the phone down for so long.
That is basically it, yes. They have he definitely made that rule. Laura Sanchez reveals the morning ritual with Jeff Bezos. Mornings are sacred even for one of the world's richest men. Jeff Bezos' fiance gave a glimpse of what daily life is like with the billionaire and revealed he has one steadfast rule. Laura Sanchez tells people the 60-year-old Amazon founder doesn't immediately check his phone upon waking up. I make myself a cup of coffee, the former reporter told the outlet. I make Jeff a cup of coffee. And we have this kind of magic moment of just us talking. That's crazy stuff. That's crazy talk. Why would you want to talk to someone in the morning?
First thing a lot of people do is grab their phone, open their eyes, grab their phone, and start scrolling.
Yep.
I don't.
I don't either. I don't even want to talk to somebody till I'm up, and because usually my back hurts so bad, I make my way around the house and deal with my back pain, and then make something to eat. And you can talk to me after I eat, but till then, I don't want to talk to anybody. Let's see here. All right, so that's it. That's the big secret about Bezos. And when you're a millionaire or billionaire, I should say, you can do what you want.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, hey, black screen. No, there we go. So, yeah. I wonder what it's like to be like able to get up and just today I'll buy a country.
Or an island.
Yeah, or two. It's funny. And I just have this image of those two when they were walking down the beach buying, beach stuff. I'm thinking to myself, that's a cheap way to live. But I mean, I know he uses his money. He's smart. He's smart about what he does. So that's a man that definitely didn't see himself becoming as wealthy as he became over what he was doing. I mean, originally he wanted to sell books, resell college books. That's all Amazon used to be. So then they started adding things. They were doing real well with that, and they started adding computer products. They bought a lot of them from my company. And then it went on and became such a big monster that, no one saw that coming. So, yep.
Now, when they bought, did they buy from you wholesale, or did you make
Oh, yeah.
money?
Oh, the company that I work for, we made back in the early 2000s, everybody went on credit hold because they were all of a sudden everybody was afraid of all the web resellers. So everybody went on credit hold. My biggest account was a New Hampshire account at that point, and they owed us $750,000 when they locked everybody down, and they went out of business, of course. But I got all our money back because they liked us and they didn't try to stick us with the bill. But a lot of the companies went belly up because everybody was selling stuff so cheap to get a piece of the market, they weren't making profit. Amazon was smart enough to make money, and they then invented the marketplace thing, and that's when they started really blowing up. But originally, their business model was they were going to buy and sell books. That's it. And that's somehow they ended up, because they were buying computer equipment.
They ended up owning the world.
Yeah, it's really funny that how that was not in his original game plan to take over, the world like that. But boy, I'll bet he's glad he listened to whoever told him to do the right thing. And the fact is, he could have been shut down with the rest of them, but for some reason, my company said they wanted to keep him going. So he must have paid his bills, or he must have done something right to make the company feel that okay with him. Because a lot of the resellers went belly up right around 2000, because they all crashed and burned, and he was smart about what he was doing. Hi, can I help you? I know I can't, because you're just going to keep bugging me. Where's the other one? She leave. All right, make you a deal. I'm going to give you something. But you got to let me alone, okay? And we'll see behind the curtain. You don't want to see behind the curtain. There's so much garbage back there. I really got to redo this studio. I'm going to disappear for a second. Where did I put it? There it is. Okay. Okay, while I was cleaning, I found something the dogs want. You want this? Do you want it? Come and get it. Get it. Come and get it. Here. Oh, he's just gonna play. Oh, now I gotta get another one out. She is down there. All right. Come here. Shy. There you go. There you go. Now stop bugging me. Dogs. Throw all these treats down, and I put them on my stand, and I forgot I had them. And now he's coming back from there. He didn't even eat that. Go. That dog is greedy. Anyway, all right, so the next thing. So there's a new thing called the Creative Arts Emmy. Here is some of the people that won. Angela Bassett, Saturday Night Live, Alan Cummings, Jim Henson, Idea Man were amongst the Saturday night winners. And the celebration was held at Los Angeles Peacock Theater. So I never heard of the Creative Arts Emmys before. It says handed out its first night of awards. It is an annual event. The annual 2-day event, which takes place the weekend before Primetime Emmys, is currently in the middle of handing out 99 awards. Some of the awards that were handed out were to Jim Henson, Idea Man, Saturday Night Live, Billy Joel, the 100th, live at Madison Square Garden, and Welcome to Wrexham. And so those are, and the 96th Oscars also took multiple trophies. So I kind of thought that was cool. I never heard of that one before. Did you ever hear that before?
No.
No, I never heard of it before either, and I thought that was interesting. Other notable wins include Dick Van Dyke's 98 Years of Magic as Best Variety Special, pre-recorded, and Beckham as the Best Documentary and Nonfiction Series. So, and they had presenters of the evening, followed by Lucy Liu, Nikki Glaser, Jane Lynch, LeVar Burton. So all these guys were at part of that. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I learned a little bit about things like that. But it was interesting to see that they have this award show before the award show, and that they. I thought it was also interesting that Billy Joel got that award for the concert he had his residency at Madison Square Gardens. He does one show a month there, and it's crazy to think that you're selling out your show that you're having once a month, just constantly selling it out. That shows how good he is. I mean, I saw him probably about 6 times in concert, and I can tell you, never bored me. I loved that concert. But did you ever see him?
No, not live. No.
He's just, he knows how to make you enjoy the music, because he has so many good songs, but so many singable songs and so many just great stories. And he has this piano on stage that's on a revolving platform, so that he'll play for a while facing one way, then he'll move it the other way and face the other way. So everyone gets to see him, and everyone, I got to see him down in Camden Yards. I got to see him in Philadelphia at the Philly Stadium. I got to see him. Where else did I see him? I saw him a bunch of times, but he was someone I really enjoyed. I loved his concert. I saw him, and I saw Meatloaf a bunch of times too. Meatloaf was good for the stage show, but he's not a good singer live. So, yeah. All right.
So Meatloaf needs a studio.
Meatloaf is a big studio. It's definitely a studio act. So yeah, he didn't do well live, but he still has a stage show that's pretty cool. The big movie of the week. Do you want to guess? Do you have any idea?
Nope.
Say his name 3 times. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice made $110 million. Much bigger than I think they thought it was going to do. Let me bring this up here. There we go. 111 million there. I was told 110 million. I guess I, got a little extra. And that's really interesting too because Michael Keaton played Beetlejuice in the original and again played here. So that was supposedly, first, it says here, Tim Burton's long-awaited Beetlejuice is off to a rip-roaring start at the domestic box office, as if no time passed between now and when the film first graced the screen 36 years ago. It's crazy. I didn't really know how it was going to do, but Tim Burton films seem to do okay. I really thought that was much higher than I would have guessed that it was going to do. So,
well, it has more than a cult following.
Oh yeah, for sure. It didn't have the same cast though. I'm trying to remember who was in the original cast. Let's see here. It was a career best opening for Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Monica Bellucci, and Justin Theroux.
Monica Bellucci?
Bellucci, not Belushi. So, yeah, I kind of want to see it just because, I'm pretty sure that Tim Burton stuff is almost, well, I read somewhere or heard it somewhere that Tim Burton was originally going to do the first Batman. And the story about Batman's actually pretty interesting. The guy that owns the rights to Batman bought him in like the 50s or something like that, and he bought him for $50,000. Now back then that was a little money, but still, for a thing like Batman,
he's a very rich man today.
Yes, he is. He everything with Batman's name on. And people laughed at him when why would you, Superman has superpowers. Why would you buy Batman? Well, for good reason. He's a rich man now. So I kind of find that funny. Everybody that laughed at him, he got to laugh back. So, Superman maybe have superpowers, but Batman has a lot of longevity. There are so many TV shows out there. If you have Max, you can watch Batman, Batman 1, Batman 2, all the different Batmans. But you can also watch Gotham, which gives you an idea where Commissioner Gordon came from. And it gives you the backstory and a young kid Batman before he was Batman. And I like that a lot. And then they just came out with Penguin as a series. And that would be interesting to me too. They really had the Penguin and Mr. Freeze and the Joker, the Riddler. All those are in Gotham. And it's interesting to watch their backstory of how they became bad guys. And it tells the story, Poison Ivy, all the characters I never even heard of. It shows their backstory. And I liked the way they did that. I thought that was pretty cool. So, all right, let's see here. Let's see what the box office report says. Oh, well, I don't see the box office report. Where's the box office report? You said you were going to give me a box office report. The first Beetlejuice grossed $74 million at the domestic and $195 million if you adjusted it for inflation. So 195, so it didn't do as good adjusting for inflation, but I think it still did pretty good considering what's out there today. All right, they didn't give me a box office report. They lied. All right, let's put this in. Let's see. All right. All right, there we go. All right, next we got, so now studios are a little hesitant to release any movies before election. I found that interesting.
Why?
Well,
That's interesting. Why?
yeah. Well, let's bring the article up here. Because it's going to be a S*** show. Early release dates are usually coveted, but executives think tent poles would get drowned out this year. So studios have voted, and the decision was unanimous. For the first time anyone can remember, the box office marquee notably will be devout of new all-audience releases the weekend following the 2024 presidential election. The first and second weeks of November have become a fertile ground in terms of launching movies before the year-end holiday glut begins. But the noise from this year's Kamala Harris, Donald Trump race is expected to be so loud that distributors are staying on the sidelines when it comes to the tent poles. The noise could make it tough to promote a film during the November 8th through 10th weekend, since the airwaves will be flooded with political ads as in preceding weeks. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that ad rates are expected to be inflated by 30% to 40% because of the presidential showdown. A studio prepared to shell out $20 million or $30 million on TV media would suddenly be looking at $28 million to $40 million. So another concern, civil unrest. No one in Hollywood has forgotten the images of the U.S. Capitol being ransacked and pillaged on January 6, 2021, following the Trump's loss to Biden. Notably, the 2024 seems different, and given incredibly high stakes and high profile of this year's presidential contest, looks like more studios are erring on the side of caution rather than risking oxygen-sucking dominance of what is likely to be the more intense post-election weekend in modern history. So, yeah, everyone's kind of a wait-and-see
Well,
thing.
no one's sure what Trump supporters are going to do if he loses.
Right. But even I mean, there's a lot. I think everybody's like, I don't know if I think Harris has lost the steam that she had. And,
She has.
And I don't think.
Now it's a 1 point. According to the new poll come out today, it's a 1 point advantage Harris, which is meaningless.
Yeah, it means nothing. That's I don't know. I think people started thinking about, okay, this is what we got, this is what we could have. What's worse, someone that's arrogant, or someone that's laid back and and is not going to be. I don't know. I just I don't.
See, my problem is she doesn't. I don't think she has what it takes.
Right. That's
And
exactly
then Trump
right.
is Trump, which bothers me.
Yes, that's where I'm at. It's not like we have a real good choice here. We have a choice
we
of
don't.
someone that's passive, and that other countries aren't going to respect. And then we have Trump, who they may not respect him, but they're not going to make any moves against him because they fear him. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting that the situation that we're in. So, I don't know. I wish it would be over because Although it gives us a lot of things to talk about, I just
It
would like
does.
I'd like to talk about something else other than Trump. The Rust movie is back in the news again. That Hannah Gutierrez Reed pleads guilty to bringing a gun to into a New Mexico bar. That's the woman who's in jail.
Yeah, there's something wrong with her.
She's already serving 18 months prison sentence, and 18 months. That's, man. If I thought I
She
could
got
get
off
away,
light
yeah, that's really light.
compared to what she did.
Yeah, because that's not the first time that she's done bad things. But
No, wasn't she fired from other places?
Yeah.
Because
yes, she was not confident. I can't understand why anybody would have hired her after having that kind of notoriety. But it says here, Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed has agreed to plead guilty to bringing a gun into a bar in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It will be sentenced to 18. Isn't she all? Wait a minute. Yeah, she's already serving an 18-month sentence, and they're going to try to sentence her to another 18 months. Okay, will be sentenced to 18 months of probation. Big deal. Gutierrez Reed, 27, is already serving an 18-month prison sentence for involuntary manslaughter in the death of cinematographer, what was it, I don't know how to pronounce her name. But anyway, she could have faced up to 18 months additional in prison for bringing the gun to the bar. But she'll serve supervised probation from her home. So, oh boy, she's really lucky that she's getting away with that. I know there's that family is probably not happy that she's getting away with this.
Well, they're not happy that nothing happened to.
Oh yeah, to
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin.
Alec.
Yeah, I see. I wonder if somehow he persuaded the prosecution to screw up, because that was a bad screw up. So I don't know. Oh, I must have. Oh, I guess I deleted my page. That was dumb. All right, get my page back up here. All right, next thing. I forget what that was about. Some of the stuff I remember, and then some of the stuff I put on my thing, and I forget what it was about when I put it in here. But I thought it was probably pretty good at the time. Okay, there we go.
If you had more time, do you have a script?
A script?
Yeah, where you list everything.
Well, I
decided what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I have just notes and links of stuff that I'm gonna talk about. I don't really like a lot of the stuff. I'll glance over it. If it looks good, then I'll put it on my list of stuff. Sometimes I just put it in there and I don't have time to read it, but I try to read, unless it's something that's obviously something that we would talk about. I don't remember what this one was, though. For some reason, I remember it being something, but I don't remember what it was. Unstoppable. Oh, okay. It's a review of Unstoppable. Jarrell Jerome and Jennifer Lopez bring grit and determination to conventional but crowd-pleasing sports bio. Oh, okay. That's the Unstoppable. Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. This is a really. I actually am interested in seeing this. This is about a true life situation of a wrestling champion named Anthony Robles, and when I'm talking wrestling, I'm not talking about pro wrestling. I'm talking about amateur wrestling. The thing that was interesting about this guy was that he wrestled with one leg. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, here it is. He was born with one leg, but never let that stop him from going after his dream. Special sauce here, however, is the bond of love and support through tough times between Anthony and his mother Judy, stirringly portrayed by Jarrell Jerome and Jennifer Lopez. This guy wrestled with one leg. Now, can you imagine? I saw a guy on. I mean, that's half your battle if you don't have a leg. I mean, you had one leg, I guess, because but still, to think about when they go in for a leg dive. I mean, this guy. But I did see a wrestler that had no legs, and nobody wanted to take him on because he could grab them easily. And I was thinking, wow, I never would have thought that that this guy was good. And I saw a one-legged pro wrestler too for a while, and he was in WWE for a while. Those guys, they are, talk about determined. Man, I can't imagine like wrestling with two legs, let alone one. So, but this movie's supposedly pretty good. I would definitely say if you're into looking for a movie that'll inspire you, this would be one that would inspire you. So,
sounds like something. It sounds like something I might watch.
Yeah, I mean it's a true story.
Of course, Jennifer's in it, so.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, she had got rid of the dead weight of her extra legs. So, and I've got a dog still bothering me. I gave him something. You would think he would have eaten it. I don't know if you ate it or not. Did you eat that? You didn't. It's over there. See, I see it. Why aren't you over there eating it? You want a bone, don't you? I gave you a pig ear. That dog.
Dog knows what he wants.
Yeah, well, the dog, he's a picky dog. Like, he's used to eating dry food. And if you put anything on that food, he won't touch it. She put chicken broth on it. And Cheyenne she went right through that really quickly. He wouldn't eat it. So she was like putting her fingers in it and letting him lick off the fingers. And after a while, he said, maybe that's okay. And then he started eating it. But it took him a while. He wouldn't eat it because it wasn't crunchy. He wanted crunchy stuff. You know, the dog's funny. All right, next thing. In 2011, Warner Brothers released Steve Soderbergh's Contagion. I remember that. I used to watch. I did go to watch that. It was a pandemic disaster film featuring an all-star cast, including Matt Damon, Lawrence Fishburne, Elliot Gould, Jude Law, Marion Cotillard, Kate Winslet, Bryan Cranston. It was a critical success. So in 2011, that was out. So that's 23 years. 23? No. Oh, 13 years. It'd be great if I did math. So I remember that movie.
You're a genius and you can't do math.
Yeah. That was a good movie, though. That was. I remember watching that movie, and I liked that movie. Today's birthdays. How old is he? Adam Sandler.
52.
58. Hugh Grant.
58. Hugh Grant's in the 60s.
He is in his 60s. Well, how 60 is he?
65. I'll take
you. Oh, that's good. You 64. You and Tom Wopat. Wopat. Do you know who he is?
He is. Yeah.
Did you watch? I didn't. I never watched the show, but I know he was. My sister loves Adam Sandler. He was one of the Dukes of Hazzard. He was the Luke Duke.
He was Luke. Okay, he's got to be in his 80s or 90s.
He is 73.
Wow.
I saw his name.
Been real young.
Yeah, he was. I saw him and I saw the name and I said, I know that name from somewhere. Why do I know that name from somewhere? Looked him up on Wikipedia and then I saw it was him. So I never watched Dukes of Hazzard, but it was one of those, like, I wouldn't watch anything that was like would portray me as a redneck. that was my sister's generation. She probably liked him. So, but yeah, but he also was a singer, and he also had some music and stuff that he did. So, I guess it's okay. Do you know who's going to be at the Super Bowl 2025 halftime show?
They announced it, but I don't know who it is.
Kendrick Lamar.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
You know, I pride myself on that. Having no idea who these people are.
Yeah, well, I don't even know why I know that. I know that for some reason. I think he has something to do with the Kardashians, but I'm not sure. The big game will take place February 9th, 2025 at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Lamar previously performed at the 2022 halftime show with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem.
I did hear that. Yes.
Yeah.
He's already performed.
Yes. Now, do you know
and
what?
Now he's got a headline.
Do you know what they get paid to do that?
No, I'm interested. How much?
Nothing.
They get nothing to perform at the.
Correct. They do it for the glory. They don't pay them.
Prestige.
Yeah, they don't pay them. That they make so much money off the Super Bowl. I just can't believe that the acts don't get paid, but they don't. They don't get. At least I don't think they didn't get paid. And now maybe with Kendrick, maybe they do. They didn't pay Michael Jackson when he did it. You know, all those big names and stuff. They don't pay those guys. They do it for the glory. So that's why they don't. That's why I won't play it. They won't pay me.
Yeah.
that's why, right? That and the fact that they don't even know who I am, but that's beside the point. So,
they really bring the ratings down like instead of up. So,
are you saying something? Are you trying to say that that I wouldn't make ratings?
I've never heard you, so I can't. I shouldn't say a thing. I've never heard you.
You never heard me sing, ever.
That's right.
Yeah. Really? Seriously?
Well, I mean, you sang, but I mean, I never heard you in a band.
Huh. Well, we're gonna have to change that. I'll play a song tonight.
That's what I'm saying. If you have, when I'm home, you need to tell me if you have a gig.
Oh, well, that's the, yeah. I mean, I doubt that I'll have one because you're going to be there right as I get back from Atlanta, yeah. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be. I wish I was playing because I really miss it. I really want to play. But
so
hey.
What's stopping the band? Just not ready?
No, we're actually. I hate to say it. This is going to sound really bad, but we're actually better than a lot of bands that are playing out now. I'll tell you what. Let's see. Let me see. I recorded our session from last Friday. I won't play the whole song because I'll get in trouble with the people that irritate me. All right, so I'm going to. Yeah, I'll do it. Don't you have my album?
No.
Oh. Huh.
You need to send me your album.
Huh.
I looked up the Uncle Sam band, and you're not on Spotify.
Yes, I am. I am on Spotify.
Well, when I looked it up, it was.
Are you paid for Spotify?
Yeah.
You should be able to look up Love in a Blender. It'll bring my album up.
Write that down.
It should bring my album up. Because we are on there, and we're also on iTunes. We're also on Deezer and all those other, anywhere you can buy music. We're there. Okay, here we go. Now, keep in mind, this is a jam session. The first time we ever did Some Kind of Wonderful. Remember that song?
Yeah.
I did that. That's in here. I'm going to give you a choice of Can't Get Enough Your Love, Hard to Handle, Sin City. Sin City's really good. Rocky Mountain Way. Huh?
There you are. Love in a Blender. Uncle Sam Band.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. I will listen to it.
Yeah, I'll, let's see here. So, I'm going to give you your choice. Rocky Mountain Way, Sin City, Hard to Handle, Can't Get Enough Your Love, Hello There, Going Into Born to Be Wild.
Which one do you think you sound the best in? Which one do you hit the notes with and sound the best?
All of them.
Okay. It's egotistical. Now,
no, not egotistical. Just I know that.
Then what's your favorite?
Well, my favorite's not here, unfortunately.
On that list, what is your favorite? Because the ones you named, I like them all. It's hard to choose.
There's a lot of songs missing here. I was going to play you "Fool for the City." And I think we did that song Sunday. I don't see it. How about, all right, let's do this one. Turn that down a little. Just blowing out the speakers there. What's that?
I'm not hearing anything.
You don't hear anything?
Nope.
You heard the intro when we started the show, right?
Yes, I did.
Wonder why you didn't hear this.
Another gremlin, Michael.
Huh? What's that?
Another gremlin.
Do you have your earphones in? Well, you must have it because we're talking.
That's right.
That's weird. You know what? I'll send you a link to the files. That way
Please.
And then give a report next week what you think.
I will do that.
And I think that you will. I think you'll be impressed. You wouldn't expect this to sound from me, but it actually some of the songs that are on here now. Some of the songs like Some Kind of Wonderful. That was the first and only time I ever did it, and it still sounded good. But that's only because I could remember that. I could remember it because I heard it before so many times. Sin City is good. I'd like you to hear the Fool for the City. That one's pretty good. And there's a Kiss song too that we do. Detroit Rock City. We do that one. That one's pretty good. There's a lot of these in here that we were doing for the first time that didn't sound so good. The Zeppelin stuff that we're doing is going to be pretty good, but we need to work on it. It's the first time we did it. We just started. They do this stuff where they will be done playing a song and then they'll just do a song that I never did before, and I'll be like, oh shoot, now I got to find the words, and by the time they're done, it may not sound good because it's the first time we did it. Like we did about 5 Zeppelin songs in a row, and I love Zeppelin, but you don't just jump into Zeppelin. Zeppelin's hard to sing. So some of the stuff like Immigrant Song, that's really hard to sing. But I can sing it, but it's really hard to sing. But I'll get you some stuff to listen
Send me
to.
the link because I'm very interested.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here. Ah, are you a Dallas Cowboy fan?
I'm a hater.
A hater.
A hater.
Do you know who Dak Prescott is?
Yeah, very much so. He just signed a huge contract.
A huge contract. 4 years, $240,000. Nope, $240 million. Sorry about that.
With $231 guaranteed.
What the freak is going on with this world? That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
That's almost what they pay me here.
Well, I figured you'd have to take a cut, but
I just thought it was funny that this guy's making $240 million. I mean, back when we were kids, I was thinking, wow, they're going to pay this guy $1 million. $1 million? They won't get out of bed for $1 million. Oh, it's funny. Yeah, Dak Prescott, 4 years, $240 million. That's just insane.
well, you may not understand this, but what's going to happen is they just signed 3 of their top players.
Okay.
D.D. Lamb, they signed, who else did they sign? And they signed Prescott. And they've got one more big player to play. But what that means is they're going to have to get rid of a lot of good players.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a salary cap.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So they only have what? They have a big number that they're allowed to split that up into, right?
Yeah, but
Is that so that
next year, not this year, but next year, I think Prescott takes up $72 million on a. Yeah, he takes up about 26% of the salary cap, and then they got to play the other 69 players out of that.
Wow.
The rest. So that's the problem. You can't sign a lot of big players, and that's why they have the salary cap.
Jeez.
So a team like Dallas, who is America's team, and everybody wants to play for them, they'd have all the superstars.
Okay.
So they have a salary cap, so you have to make decisions, hard decisions.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. That's I can't even fathom, like, and it's different now because I mean a lot of these, it's not like 240 million probably. It was a lot before, but with the way that it is now, I mean, I guess back in when we were kids, 240 million was probably more like 2 million back then. So I don't know. More power to
Well,
them.
see, you realize that 231 of that is guaranteed. So if he gets an Achilles injury or breaks his leg
Right.
and can't play again,
Right.
he still gets 231 million.
Crazy. That's just crazy. I don't know. Today was the day that Apple was releasing updates.
They released,
Yeah.
updates, but they brought their phones and
Yes.
and earphones and watch out.
And the AI craze with its newly released iPhone 16.
It has the chip that allows the intelligence to work.
That's crazy. But you know,
their sales are down. Their sales have been down because I have a 12.
I have a
The 12 is just
14.
fine.
I have a
But
14.
the 12 is just fine.
Yeah. And
Right.
so the 14's just fine.
I don't need the camera, so I didn't need to upgrade. And a lot of people are like me. And so, they may have 14s and 15s, but they don't upgrade.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it used to be back when I owned my 6 up until, geez, I think the next one I bought was a 11. So, and I've got
my daughter's 12.
And I've got a 14 now. And the reason I went to the 14 was I wanted the terabyte of memory.
That's right.
The storage is.
That's what they do. They do something. But see, I was listening today to a business report, and the cameras can't really be improved. They
Okay.
can improve them, but your eye can't tell the difference.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah. And
they
actually,
maxed out on the quality of the phone of the camera.
actually, if you think about it, you look at these cameras now, and back in the day, you were lucky if you got a small 480p picture that was bigger than a postage stamp when it was all said and done. Now you got these giant pictures that are coming out of these phones, and they're even shooting movies on these phones.
Yes,
So that tells you how advanced they've become. And you know, I don't usually shoot my I rarely shoot any of the videos for my acting on my phone, even though I could, because I got such a good setup for my phone. So I'm pretty happy with, or I have a pretty good setup without my phone. So the stuff you see is usually you can get a high def camera now for $60, and it gives me a lot more. It doesn't, rather than the phone giving you that image there, you have the wide image, which is what they do. But I mean, they're shooting these, like I said, they're shooting these things on iPhones now. So, the iPhones are going to range from $800 to $1,200. That's cheap because I paid $1,600 for the one I got.
I need a new phone, so I'm asking for a 16. I'm asking permission.
We see who wears the pants in that family.
Financially,
Yeah.
just about every other way, I have to admit. Yes.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Well, no, I can't. I could at one point, but
Well, like I said this once, but I'll say it again. In my mania, I'm bipolar, and in my mania, I've run up credit cards, and we have filed for bankruptcy. So I'm not allowed to make financial decisions anymore.
Good point.
It's for good reason.
Yes. For me, I had a wife that did that, and she drove me crazy because every time I'd have to refinance the house because she would run her credit cards up, and I didn't have that kind of money sitting around. So I told her if she did it again, we were going to get a divorce. We didn't get a divorce because I didn't want to divorce her. But yeah, and when she died, she left me with a $20,000 in credit card bills, which I didn't pay because they weren't mine and my name wasn't on that card. So that'll teach them to trust her.
But they still came after you, didn't they?
They did not. They did not.
They did not?
They did not. So I'm very happy about that. But anyway, so yeah, there are AIs. What's that?
The watch is thinner.
Okay.
It can detect sleep apnea.
Yes. I heard they were going to do that. One of the things I like about their watches, man, they make the best watch. I mean, I got one. Mine's an old one. Mine's a 4. But I want to get one of the new ones because the new ones are even cooler because, like, for my car, I need my phone because my phone is my key. But the new watch can also act as a key too. So I want to get the new watch because it can do that. Because I don't know how many times I've gone down to get something out of my car and I didn't bring my phone, but I would wear my watch so I could start the car with the watch. So it's pretty neat. But yeah,
The earbuds are supposed to be very comfortable.
Okay.
The best fit they've ever had, because that's the complaint. Those things fall out of your ears.
Yes.
Sometimes.
My favorite earbuds that I have are Bose. I bought 2 sets at 2 different times at Goodwill. These are Bose. And if you know anything about Bose, they're high end. I got 2 sets of them.
I bought one Bose and lost them. Lost one earbud, and my wife says no more. You have to buy $39 earbuds. I've got very good headphones.
Well, you know what I paid for those Bose? I paid less than $50 each. So, and I carry them because they're
But
beautiful.
they're
What-
350 or something, aren't they?
Huh?
They're 350,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah. Like I said, Goodwill. So, when I saw them on there the first time, I bought them, and it was in a bulk lot. It was like I got all these headphones and stuff, but the only thing I was interested in, because it was a bulk lot, I was looking to see if there was anything really special in that. When I saw Bose in there, I bought the bulk lot. And that, when I say 50, that's what I paid for the bulk lot. And there were all kinds of wireless headphones. There was some Jabra in there. There was all kinds of stuff in there. And then the second time, it was by itself, and I paid, I don't know, probably 50 or so for that. But I got so many sets of headphones. I got enough headphones for the rest of my life. I have some Beats. Beats ones are good too. They're high end.
What do you think of JBL?
JBL is awesome.
That's what I have. That's my headphone.
I love.
paid $250 for.
Yeah, I think JBL was in that bulk lot that I paid $50 for. So, I think I'll shut up before you hate me.
Well, I've hated you for years. It's just a matter of how much.
Well, yeah. Well,
Because you would never let me win a chess nor teach me chess. You just like to beat up on me.
so I'm a bully. What's your point? Hey, you have to be good at something, even if it's being a bad example. So,
That's in my book, by the way,
what's that?
that you bullied me in chess.
Your book? What book?
I just wrote it the other night.
Really?
Yeah,
You put that in the book?
I put that in a book. It
Did you-
still stings to this day.
Did you put it under classy, Mike, or is it Mike?
No, I haven't finished yet.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I got to talk to you about it because I want to do some reminiscing to put in there.
Man,
So,
we've got a lot. We've been through a lot of stuff,
yeah.
and not all good, but all resolved.
Well, from that time in my life, you were a big part of it, and I'd like to share some stuff. And my memory isn't that good, but yours is pretty good. So,
I wouldn't say mine was real good, but you
well,
can.
the big stuff we will remember.
Yeah.
I put the thing we shall never talk about in there, but I didn't describe it. I just said it happened, and I said we must have been drunk because that's the only way that would have happened.
Well, considering I wasn't drinking and still don't drink, it probably.
But I drank.
Yeah.
But I drank.
I can tell you all kinds of things that you did that you probably wouldn't believe because they probably didn't happen, but I'd just say it to,
And then I'll put it in the book if it never happened. There you go.
And then your sequel to the book will be, he went and lied to me in the first book, so now I have to write a second book to retract the first book.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, that's funny.
See, I really wanted to learn how to play chess, and you ruined me.
It was my job to just destroy you.
And you did a great job of it, let me tell you.
That was revenge for some other things, so even though they probably didn't happen yet. Maybe that was your revenge on me. That could be it. I'll teach you.
I owe you, buddy. I owe you.
Let me think here. Oh yeah, so I bought today a really cool program. The beginning of the year, I bought from this guy a bunch of times because this guy is really cool. His name's Paul Ponna, Ponna. He puts out different things that meant for marketing, meant to help you make money and stuff like that. I use this stuff for my everyday use. The last thing I bought for him, now I bought a bunch of things from him, but the last thing I bought from him before this was a program that allowed you to do, you could type in or speak into a microphone and describe what you want, and it would draw that picture for you. And then you could animate that picture. And he has his own server so that everything that you do is faster than if you go through one of the Journey, like I think it's JourneyNet or whatever it is, or all these different places. Usually they take 5, 6, 7 minutes to build an image. This will do that image in 6 seconds.
Wow.
And it will, because the guy has his own server farm. Well, anyway, today I purchased an AI website builder that I can sell, and unlimited web space. And I bought it as for resale or for myself. I'm planning on using it to have a new Trash Talking Radio web page, but I'm going to actually have a landing page that's going to Mike Trash Productions. It's going to be under classymiketrash.com or something like that. But anyway, what this is going to do is this is going to allow me to take one place and list the radio show, the acting, the music, the wrestling, and all that stuff on one page. So now, if you need to know something about me, you go there, and if you want to know more about the wrestling, you punch the wrestling. If you want to know more about music, press the music. It's all in one place. I don't have to have 5 different websites. It'll be one place.
That's the way to go.
Yes.
That's the way to go.
And with the guitar business, I'll have a separate one with the guitar business, but I'll link it to this one. So if you want to buy a guitar, you click that one, it'll take you right to the guitar business. You can configure your guitar, and boom, you got it. So everything I was going to call it Everything Mike Trash, but, you know, I do have a business called Mike Trash Productions, and it has video editing and has all that stuff that I'm just going to show that I can do all that stuff. But I really think it'll be good for the acting, because the acting, they can now see, hey, this guy's doing all kinds of stuff. And I kind of think that would be a good thing. So
plus, it'll be a place they can go and watch other things besides the little clip you give them.
Yes.
If they're interested.
Yes. And I want to stream the radio show on that page. That way I'm not reliant on Facebook. I'm not reliant on YouTube. I'm not reliant on anything. So I'm still going to stream to those places, but I think I'd like to have a chat room and all that stuff right there on that one page that you can just go there and there you are. You can see it. And then I can put links to past shows too and stuff. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
We're gonna have to clean up the show.
Yeah, you know, this show's always going to be trash. So, and I'm good with that. So
I've just made it trashier. So
yeah.
There you go.
Well, you make it. You're trying to clean up. I used to say I'm cleaning up the indies one match at a time. So, all right, next thing. Oh, okay. They just had. Do you remember Facebook was in trouble with the government?
No.
Oh, didn't we talk about that? Oh, maybe we didn't.
Oh, yeah. I understand.
Okay. Well, Google's second antitrust trial starts yesterday. And
too much stuff going on.
Yeah. For the second time in a year, Google is going to trial against the U.S. Justice Department to defend its lucrative businesses. For Monday, prosecutors and lawyers for Google are scheduled to give opening arguments in federal district court in Alexandria, Virginia, in the case that claims that Google illegally maintained its dominance in 3 markets within the ecosystem that automates online advertising. The case, to be decided by U.S. Court Judge Leonie Brinkema, Clinton appointee, was brought in January 2023. The Biden administration's Justice Department, along with 17 state attorney generals. The stakes for both are very high. So it comes just 1 month after Google suffered a defeat in high-stakes federal antitrust case bought by the Department of Justice during former President Trump's administration. So it says it will appeal that decision. Google says it will appeal. So in the ad tech case, the government claimed Google deployed illegal methods to monopolize markets for publishing ad servers, ad exchanges, and advertiser ad networks. Together, these markets make it possible for advertisers to buy and publishers to sell digital ads online. At the heart of the government's case are allegations that Google foreclosed on competitors by capitalizing on its well-known search engine to enter online advertising market, and then bought up competitors within the space. First in 2000, they said Google launched Google Ads, previously named AdWords, a platform that allows advertisers to buy ad space on Google's own web pages, including those that display internet search results. Later that year, Google created another tool for advertisers to buy ad space on third-party websites. The prosecutors say Google next devised a moat around the entire ad tech industry by developing a separate ad server for publishers. Once it had control over both sides of the industry, they alleged that Google positioned itself to extract profits as a middleman. So, yeah, that's Google is at $150 a share. So they were like $3,000 a share at one point, but I think they split since then. So,
well, this second one could change Google.
Yeah,
big time.
yeah.
I mean, they own the market on browsers. I use Firefox on my other machine, but they own the browser system.
I love their browser. I use their browser all
I
the
do too.
I
It's a good product,
yeah,
but nobody else can get a foothold.
yeah. And I also have an ad deleter, an ad blocker, so their ads don't bother me. But yeah, it's weird to think that you can't, that once you get too big, everyone watches you, and you may not be doing anything wrong. I'm not saying that they are, but they watch you a little too closely, I think. So, I don't know. It's crazy when I think about how big these companies are. These companies are huge companies, and where were they 20 years or 30 years ago? They weren't even in existence. It's crazy. So, all right. So, okay, we're done with this. Oops, what did I do? I didn't delete that. Okay. Stop it. Dummy. Drop this out. Okay. Let me see here. Rembrandt. Do you remember Rembrandt?
I remember Redford. He was a friend of mine. We used to drink together.
Oh, I would buy that. Rembrandt had a thing called a Portrait of a Girl.
Okay.
What do you think that would go for today?
$5 million.
Oh, okay. I'll get you one. No, it actually sold for $1.4 million.
1.4. Okay.
From attic to auction, a Rembrandt painting sells for $1.4 million in Maine. A Rembrandt was discovered in a Maine attic. I just have a Rembrandt, I just have it sitting there. Who keeps a Rembrandt painting in their attic? That's crazy.
Well, they probably did know.
It's insane. But yeah, it's like, I can't even imagine where he would get a Rembrandt painting. It says here that the 17th century painting Portrait of a Girl was discovered by art appraiser and auctioneer Kaja Villeneuve in an attic in an estate in Camden, Maine. A label on the back of the frame noted that it was loaned to the Philadelphia Museum of Art for an exhibition in 1970. On house calls, we often go blind, not knowing what we'll find. It says here the home was, what do you want? Stop scratching me. The home was filled with wonderful pieces, but it was in the attic amongst stacks of art that we found this remarkable portrait. That's just crazy. I mean, that's a really strange thing to have in your attic. So I found that interesting. All right, get down. You guys, stop it. Here. Jeez, these dogs are pushy. But that's really strange to think that you've had that painting for that long, and you know, how do you get even one, let alone a $1.4 million one? Jeez. Let's see. All right, let me grab a copy of that. Put that in our to-do list. Okay. Are you an art aficionado?
Not really. I appreciate it, but I'm not.
I totally get that.
I don't know well enough to know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just know what I like. That's it.
Yeah, that's all that matters. What you care, what you like, and all that. So, I don't know. I wouldn't pay any kind of money for that stuff. That's just, oh man.
Well, and what I like, you know, it's the simple stuff. On my computer, I have landscapes.
Yeah.
As background.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Sure. You should have kings and queens. Closest you're going to get to have one.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. Okay. In United States of America officially gets its name in 1776 on this day or around this day. Actor Hugh Grant. How old do you think he was? What year do you think he was born?
Hugh Grant. I have no idea. He's probably in his 50s.
1960. So he would have. Yeah. So he's he's a little older than me. Adam Sandler, we already talked about. People's Republic of China founding father Mao Zedong dies in 1976. Queen Elizabeth II becomes the longest reigning monarch of the UK at more than 63 years, with a crown at 2015. So, here's another football thing. Do you know who Tyreek Hill is?
Yes, and he got roughed up today.
He did. He did get roughed up. He got really roughed up, and he didn't really do anything really to be roughed up. But apparently he was. What's that?
Not to be put on the ground and face down. But.
Yeah. He even said, "Look, I just want to close my." He wanted to close his window because there were a lot of people, and he didn't want fans to be bugging him while he was being harassed by the police. And they dragged him out of his car and by his arm and head and forced him face first down on the ground after Hill put up his window during a traffic stop. And they got the body camera footage and everything. The video shows that altercation between Miami-Dade County officers and Hill escalated quickly. The officers cursed at Hill, but he did not resist their physical force or strike them. He did tell one officer, "Don't tell me what to do." 6 officers' body camera videos have been released. Police Director Stephanie Davis said the tape would normally not be released while the investigation is ongoing, but she went on to demonstrate the department's commitment to transparency and maintaining public trust. In an interview, the 30-year-old NFL star says he was embarrassed and shell-shocked by the situation. It's one of those things where you're
before the game. It happened before the game Sunday, and some of his teammates stopped and tried to quell the situation.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah, because you know what he said. He said, "What would have happened if they knew when they got my wallet? They knew who I was.
right,
What would have happened if I wasn't Tariq Hill?"
right, exactly. And I, it's a shame that this still is happening in this day and age. That you're trying to be okay. He went too fast, so they pulled him over. Just give him a ticket. That's just. It doesn't have to be such a big deal unless he was going that fast. I don't know how fast he was going.
Well, he has a $330,000 car. I don't know which one it is, but
It was pretty nice. It was yeah. I'm thinking it was probably a
I don't think it was a Lamborghini. But it was
well, I was going to say a
something along those
Lamborghini,
lines.
not a Lamborghini, but a Ferrari. I'm thinking it was a
Yeah,
Ferrari
I can't remember.
because it had the doors that went up sideways.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he got
But I can tell you that closing the window did agitate the police.
yeah. He said, just give me.
He shouldn't have done.
He said, just give me my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm going to be late. Do you know what I got to do? And he told the officer while putting his darkly tinted window back up, he said, keep your window down. And he was tapping on the glass. And by the way, there's more to this story than just this story. Because not only did they have an issue with him doing this, but they had really no real justification for what they did.
Well, if you put up a window, right?
Yeah.
You don't end up face down with cups.
Right. They had a
you should. I mean, there's got to be an intermediate way to do it.
right. And the sad part is that I think they just wanted to show who was in charge. That I don't think it wasn't anything illegal per se.
Well, see about the window is he could have been reaching for a gun.
Yeah. And
so I know why the police got upset, but it's overkill.
Yeah.
He's
attorney
trying to get to the stadium.
Right.
On time.
Attorney for the police officer involved in the Tariq Hill case speaks out. One of the police officers involved in the detainment of Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tariq Hill was placed on administrative duties Sunday while the Miami-Dade police investigates his actions. Now attorneys for the officer are arguing that such a move was premature and requesting that their client be returned to his usual role. We call for our client's immediate reinstatement and complete, thorough, and objective investigation. Our client will not comment until this investigation is concluded. Let's see, they're showing a different side of the car. I think it is a Ferrari. I can't really tell, but I believe that's
a beautiful car.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's
well, Tariq Hill is one of the top 3 wide receivers in football.
Okay.
He's probably the fastest receiver.
There he is. There he is. Yeah.
He is a superstar.
The department's director.
His face is plastered all over Miami.
Okay.
South Miami. So, South Florida.
Right.
And I'm sure those cops knew who he was when they saw him.
Right.
Not too many people drive around in a car like that.
Exactly. Well, I just think that I think that it could have been done a different way, and he wasn't resisting arrest or anything. There was no real reason to do that. Especially since they probably knew who he was, especially after they had his license and everything.
But I tell you what, because the window.
Oh, McLaren. McLaren's what he had.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I just think though that officers might not lose his job because it was a tinted window and they told him not to put it up.
Right. But I agree with that. But I think that they went to an extreme.
Oh, definitely went to
Uh,
an extreme.
And if he was, if they looked
They
in,
could have injured him, putting him down
right,
on the ground.
and that would have been a real serious thing then, because he would have lost his way to make money. Says here, Hill later acknowledged the two officers that he had been speeding, but criticized them, escalating the situation by pulling him out of his car and putting him in handcuffs. He eventually was allowed to leave the scene after being cited for careless driving and driving without a seatbelt. There, they said I was speeding, reckless driving, or whatever. It says here I was raised like that to name drop. If you said I did something, write me a ticket and do whatever you have to do, but don't be disrespectful. And that's, I don't know, that's kind of how I feel. If he was a known criminal, or I'm not saying give a celebrity special stuff. I'm just saying that if he didn't do anything that was outrageous, But then I had another. Oh no, I don't. I thought I had another. I thought I had another story about him too. Guess I don't. But I understand. I wouldn't want to be a police officer. I mean, there's just too many crazy people out there, and that's not something that I want to deal with. And,
well, I hate to bring it up, but would they have been that rough if it was a white person?
Well, again, yeah, I doubt that would have even gotten to that point. But, there are people out there that are still anti-white, or anti-black, I mean.
Anti-black.
Anti-black. So, I don't know. I just, I feel for him, Did you ever hear of...
but he's driving without a seatbelt.
Well...
tells me he's not the brightest...
But how would they know, with the windows being that dark, how would they know that he had a seatbelt on or not?
Well, that's true. Now, since you say that, I have to go back and... because they could have flipped it off when they pulled him over. Right.
So, unless he didn't think of it and then he rolled the window down. Wish I could find an original Rembrandt in my attic. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. That would be... there may be one in my attic, because when I bought this house, I never went to the attic because it's just a real pain to get up to. And who knows what's up there. Did you... you probably didn't watch it, but you probably are familiar with John and Kate Plus 8.
Yeah, I used to watch it.
Oh, you did watch it. Now,
yeah,
do you know the story on that? Because, I mean, there's I did stories on this before you joined the show. So I don't know how much you know about that.
Well, all I know is that they got a divorce and he went off on his own, and then I lost the story, so I don't know.
Okay, there's a show called Dark Side, and they have Dark Side of Wrestling. They have Dark Side of the 70s, of the 90s, of the 2000s. They have Dark Side of reality TV. They did an episode on John and Kate. And, if you watch, now I never watched it. So I only know what I learned from this investigative reporting. I know John was portrayed as the bad guy in the whole thing. And the whole story, if you watch the whole story, you'll find it was quite the opposite. The mother got so far into that show business stuff that she really ignored the kids. And the big breakup that they had, now he did cheat on her, but the big breakup that they had made him into a villain, a really bad villain. And she said, that he wasn't good for the kids. But she was only enjoying the kids because of the fame she got from this show. And the one son had an interview. He just turned 20. And so we actually have really interesting things about her. Now, I knew about this because of the TV show what investigated that, where she abused the kids. And she still, I mean, 2 of the kids are no longer with her. The one kid disappeared from the show, and she had him committed. And he, the father, ended up saving him. And he's been living with the father since, because she put him somewhere and he had no idea where the kid was. And the kid actually contacted him and told him what had happened. But she actually, it says here, one of the now grown children from TLC's hit show, John and Kate Plus 8, has made a bombshell abuse allegation against his reality TV star mom. Colin Goslin, 20, told the U.S. Sun that his mom would zip tie his hands and feet together and toss him in a locked room inside their home's basement, where she'd leave him lay for hours in the dark. That area of the basement was specially built to house Colin, he claimed. With a bolted lock, ensuring he wouldn't escape, he added that he was left in the room for an entire day or half day multiple times, with his mom monitoring him using cameras that are installed inside. It was a containment room, literally, and it had a mattress on the floor, and that's how I lived. The horrific allegations emerged just weeks after TLC announced it planned to start airing old episodes of the reality show, 13 years after it was abruptly canceled by the network. Colin, a sextuplet, who was central to the show, alleged that he was treated differently than his other 7 siblings. He accused his mom of sending him away to a psychiatric facility despite him having no documented mental issues. The report showed private medial records that proved he didn't suffer from several behavior and psychiatric conditions, as his mom alleged. Colin said schooling was halted when he went to the psychiatric facility as a child, but said he'd prefer being there because it meant he was away from his mom's physically aggressive behavior, which became very abusive. The interview with the Sun was filmed, showing Colin become emotional as he read from a note that he'd written in crayon that his dad, to beg him, that he'd written in crayon to his dad to beg him, Dad, to save him from the facility when he was 12. Dear Dad, I'm not trying to trick you, but I still love you, the note read. I told Mom I want to live with you, and she said no, but she can't choose for me. And I'm old enough now. I'm your son, not hers. She was abusive to me, and after I left the house, and I'm sorry to take this to court, Dad. You're my savior. Please help me and let me meet Colleen. I'm counting on you to get me out of here. Colin explained that his trick you remark was likely because he was made to believe that as a kid that people wouldn't trust what he had to say. My mom always told me nobody would believe me. So anyway, this went on, and this investigation that I saw, I don't know, a year or so ago, talks about this, and she put him in that place and wouldn't even tell the father where he was. And once the father found him, he brought him home and brought him to his house, and he lived there. And then one of the sisters left the mom too and joined him. So yeah, it's kind of weird to think about that. That's a situation like that. But he was made to look like a bad guy when it was all said and done. But after that video was over, after that video of the expose, he looked like a hero. So, it's really weird to think about doing that to your own kid, to tie him in zip ties and stuff and keep him in a room. And how the mother looks so good, with all these kids, raising them by herself and all that. But she made so much money off that TV show, and she spent a lot of that on herself, not on the kids. So I found that really interesting.
Yeah, that I knew. I knew she was she was in it for the money.
And she was in it for the fame too. She liked being in the spotlight. But yeah, I never watched any episodes of it. I just watched the the special that they had on that show, and it really told you a lot about that show, because I couldn't imagine raising that many kids, and that would be, to me, that would be a nightmare. That would be hell to me. If you had to say what does hell look like, having to raise 8 kids would be it.
Oh, man.
Oh, but yeah, so she's getting pretty much killed in the media for that.
Good.
Hey,
Mike, I got something.
What's that? Oh, I forgot you had
Yeah,
stories.
I know you did. I think people will find this interesting.
Okay.
It is purchasing power of each state.
Yes.
If you gave $100 and you went to each state, what would it buy you?
Okay.
All right. So, Arkansas and Mississippi, it would buy you $113 worth of product.
Okay.
All right. Alabama and South Dakota, 112. Let's see, West Virginia, 111. I have the top 10 here, and it's all the way down to Kansas and Montana, 110. All right. These are the top 10. You want to hear the bottom 10?
Sure.
All right. Maryland's $95.
Oh, wow.
Connecticut's 94.
Well, yeah, the closer you get to
93.
the closer you get to DC, I would think that it would be getting pretty bad.
Well, the New York corridor, Washington D.C. New York corridor. It starts with New Jersey. New Jersey is 91.
Wow.
Washington State is 90. Hawaii's 89, and California is 88.
Wow.
So California is 26% worse than Arkansas and Mississippi.
Where's New York come in?
New York comes in at 92.
Wow.
Now, I want to ask you a question. Of California, Hawaii, Washington, New Jersey, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, Oregon, Connecticut, and Maryland, what do they all have in common?
They're Democratic states.
Yes.
That was a guess. That was really a guess.
Yes. Arkansas and Alabama and South Dakota and West Virginia and Oklahoma, Kentucky, North Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas State are all red states.
Wow.
Red states have the highest buying power, and blue states have the worst, and it's all because of taxes.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. I just guessed on that too. And where'd Pennsylvania come in?
104.
Oh, good.
Ohio was 109, but Ohio's turned into a red state.
Yeah.
So, PA's a swing state, so it's in the middle.
Okay. Well, that's better than being in California.
Oh my goodness! $88.
That's crazy.
You have $100 that buys you $88 worth of product.
Is that the worst one?
That's the worst one.
Wow. That's crazy.
Blue state, red state.
Wow.
No wonder people are leaving blue states and going to red states.
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh man, that's a big difference. You're losing 20% of your money.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I guess not.
From Arkansas and Mississippi to California, it's 26% they're losing.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. That's $25.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that does explain some things. What else you got?
I thought you'd be interested.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely.
all I got.
That's all you got?
I got today. Because, I'm really doing politics lately.
Right.
And tonight's not the night to do politics.
That's true.
Politics is happening as we speak.
Good point. Yeah. Whew. Well, Slash had a stepdaughter.
Yes.
And she killed herself.
Yes.
It says here that she left a chilling note to first responders about toxic H2S gas, which is what she died from. So we know that it was definitely on purpose. More details emerged about the sudden death of Slash's stepdaughter, Lucy Blue Knight, who died of hydrogen sulfite toxicity in July. The revolution comes with the full release of the late 25-year-old autopsy report by the medical examiner in charge of investigating her death. As part of the report, it was mentioned that Lucy Blue Knight's body was found in the bathroom of the rental she was staying at, and she left a warning note to the first responders from getting poisoned by the gas. That's such a shame. 25. I mean, how bad is it? I mean, I guess, I'm lucky that I never got that desperate. In
my clinical depression, 2.5-year clinical depression, I thought about suicide a lot. Never wanted to do it, but I understand why people feel that way.
Well, I thought of it a lot, but I thought there had to be more out there, and I wouldn't. There was a point where I'm a coward when it comes to pain and all that stuff. So I thought there had to be more to life than what I saw, and there was, and I'm thankful that I hung in there and decided I was gonna figure this thing out. But
I just thought that it would destroy my kids, hurt my wife, and disappoint my God. So I never did it. I had a plan though.
Did you?
And it all laid out. Yeah.
Wow.
Never acted on it. Never would act on it. But
I would have to do it. It would have to be something that would guarantee that I don't get stuck alive with not everything working. And there was, and I couldn't think of a way. Fortunately, I couldn't think of a way to do that. So.
Gun in the mouth.
Huh?
Gun in the mouth.
Yeah, that sounds really disgusting. I don't know. I'm very thankful that I didn't ever go that route. But there were times, especially. I mean, I was so bullied as a child. I relate to a lot of these kids. I mean, okay, let's talk about that because there's that kid that was just recently. Let's talk about him because actually he is something I wanted to talk about anyway. And let me find my notes on him because I hate to say it like this, but I relate to him because I was bullied so bad, but I would never kill somebody. I mean, but I feel bad for him because, he was a bullied kid and now he's going to be spending the rest of his life in jail. He went from being a 13-year-old kid who was bullied by everybody to now he's a criminal and he's now, there had to be a better way to solve this, I would think. Because he didn't even, a lot of these guys, they decide they're going to take revenge and they're going to they're going to die at the end anyway. But he gave himself up, so, I feel bad for people that were bullied because I was there. And, I want it so bad to have it stop, and I would have done just about anything to do that. But I didn't. I just took the beating. And so I feel for, everyone's going to say he's an animal, he's a criminal, but how did he get that way? He got that way because people bullied him. And when he went to people to tell them he was being bullied, no one ever did anything about it. And this is what happens when we ignore a child or ignore a person who's been bullied, and they just think, well, I got to take it in my own hands now. And I really feel for that kid. I also feel for the people that were affected by that kid. But he had people he was after specifically, and those were probably
And
the
it was
bullies.
in that room.
Yeah.
They were in that room that he couldn't get into.
So
His classroom.
yes. So it's such a shame that became a situation that it did, and it's a shame that nobody paid attention that this was going on. People picked on me in high school so bad and in elementary school so bad. I'm really surprised I got out of there like I did. But I did tell the counselor that if you don't let me go to college, I'm quitting. I'm just going to quit. And I wasn't sure how I could quit because, you know, I'm 16. So how do you go about quitting when you're 16, you know? But fortunately, for me, it worked out okay. But I really feel for those people because people don't realize how bad bullying can be. And if you have no one to turn to, I had one teacher in school and his name was Royal Diamond. And that was his real name, Royal Diamond. And I had one teacher in school that would listen to me. And he made all the difference in the world. And if I had not, like my cousin Riley told me about this program, and he told me about this is a way out, and I listened to him, and I decided I was going to go that route rather than quit school. I wouldn't have quit school anyway because I don't know what else I would have done. But you know, if people would just pay attention to see who's the bullies, and this may not have ever happened. You know, it's I feel for him. I feel for the families too, but I'm always going to side with the one that was bullied too, because I felt it. I know what it's like. I've been there, and you know, I feel that there would have been potentially another ending to this story if someone would have came to his rescue, and they didn't. So now he's going to spend his life in prison and potentially be bullied there too. So anyway, it's sad because the people had to die and because of all this. And like I said, if someone would have paid attention, this may not have happened. So 4 people were dead, 9 others hospitalized, and it's just a shame. And it's weird to see, like when we were kids, we had a gun club. We brought our guns to school for a different reason. We had a gun club, and now it's like
it is an amazing thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and we never would have thought to shoot people in the.
Nope.
But you know, the things are different now, I guess, and I don't know what the difference is because, you know, life is a lot easier now, in my opinion, than when we were kids. The information's out there now. I mean, that could be why it's more volatile. Is that the information's out there. Before, when we were kids, we may not have heard it because it would have had to go through the newspapers and stuff. So.
Well, Dad didn't help either.
Who didn't?
His dad.
Oh yeah. He's getting hammered too. I mean, that's yeah. And the mother certainly wasn't any help because they were split, and she was apparently a number. I'm gonna say like that. Not the best person in the world either. So I think they probably would do better if they would start making people fill out paperwork to have kids and evaluations and stuff.
Evaluations, yeah.
So I don't know, but it's sad. It's really sad. And I feel for the kid, and I feel for the families that lost their siblings or family members because of him. So All right.
Well,
Anyway,
Dad's going to spend a lot of years in jail.
yeah, and I don't know if I feel somewhat a little bad for him, but overall, I
How many
guess
people, what kind of intelligence does it take to buy your kid, or lack of intelligence, to buy your 16-year-old an AK-47,
well, they
an
are.
AR-15?
Well, the thing is, buying a kid an AR-15, I don't see the reason for that, but buying a kid with some mental issues, I definitely don't see. I don't see anything.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that there's no real reason to do that.
What possibly was he thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. There had to be a better way to deal with that. I don't know. I saw this article today. You know how Biden said that nobody died on his watch?
Correct.
Well, there's a news article. Afghanistan Gold Star father surprised by GOP's report. No more question on Biden's failure. The father of a Marine killed in the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan was surprised by the scope of failure by the Biden administration after a scathing House GOP report was released Sunday. 350-page report detailed many failings from the 2021 military pullout from Afghanistan, including having no plan to evacuate Americans and allies. To be honest with you, majority of the stuff in the report is nothing new. We've been at the congressional hearings. We've done all the research that we have with all different congressional hearings going on at the last one for the last 1.5 years, said Steve Nico, father of Lance Corporal Kareem Nico, said on American Reports. Kareem was one of the 13 American troops who were killed on August 26, 2021, after a suicide bomber detonated an explosive during a massive evacuation effort outside the Kabul airport. He noted one surprise he found from the report was the efforts by the Afghanistan government to reach out and secure support against the Taliban takeover. He remarked that the Biden administration likely never had any intention of supporting the Afghan government during the withdrawal. What's good, though, is that this report, now that it's finally out, there's no question, and there's no more, there's a conspiracy or whatever. This is out in chronological order, and everyone sees the failures that led to this botched withdrawal. So the report was thorough and compromised a lot of different elements that the American people need to know. The thing is, the administration lied. If it wasn't Kamala Harris, it was Jen. What's her name? How do you pronounce that? Jen Psaki. Psaki?
Oh, Jen. Yeah, Psaki.
Jen
Psaki.
Okay. If it wasn't her, Karine Jean-Pierre, the one that is representing the White House and their lies, manipulations are finally coming out and being shown as they are. So, yeah, it's interesting that this is coming out, and it's coming out at a interesting time too. So, whatever you believe or whatever you want to believe, people did die, and it's funny how Biden said that we didn't have anybody that lost their lives.
Well, also, there were billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of military equipment that was left behind.
Yes.
That the Taliban now has
Yes.
and uses.
And how the Taliban basically told everybody, oh, we're going to be a new Taliban. We're going to be a much nicer Taliban. And that didn't last long.
No. Women now cannot show their face in
Nope.
public.
Yep.
Nor speak.
Which I don't mind that part.
You're in trouble with those, buddy.
So, I don't know. I just think it was interesting how that was one of his platforms that, we didn't kill any people. So, Then I have, oh, this is awesome. No, I was going to say this is awesome. This is really bizarre. This is probably the most bizarre story of the night. Man remains in serious condition after a bite from the world's deadliest snake. Got to think, what was he thinking? So a Florence man decided he was going to, I guess, keep snakes. Why people would do this, I can't fathom it. Florence man remains in serious condition after being bitten by the world's most venomous snake. One of 14 were eventually euthanized. There were 14 of these snakes in this guy's house. What are these people thinking? I mean, what, you think they're going to be nice? You can pet your snake? What the?
You can't fix stupid, right?
I know. Jeffrey Lieberwitz called emergency medical services early Friday morning after a snake bit him inside his Marion Street home. But it wouldn't be until hours later that the officials learned that the attack was carried out by an inland taipan. Police were notified later Friday morning that there were other venomous snakes in Leibowitz's home. They obtained a search warrant and contacted the state wildlife officials for assistance in handling the snakes. The search yielded 2 cats, 14 snakes. 14 snakes! What do you need 14 snakes for? Including 1 green mamba, 2 gaboon vipers, 1 fear de lace, 1 death adder, 1 eastern diamondback rattlesnake, 2 black forest cobras, 2 adult rattlesnakes, 2 neotropical rattlesnakes, 1 small rattlesnake, and 1 inland taipan. Leibowitz remained in serious condition as of Monday. Jeff Camper, a biologist and snake specialist at Francis Marion University, said the Australian inland taipan, known for having the world's most potent venom among its species, was responsible for the bite. It contained human toxin components such as the neurotoxin component and components that act on muscles and the heart as well. So it's a very, very dangerous, potent venom. I don't understand why you got to have venomous snakes. Why you have any snakes would be surprising to me, but why you would have venomous snakes, that really surprises me.
It's can't fix stupid, man.
I know, but geez.
He paid the price.
Yeah, he may have paid it all together because, some of those things, they shoot the venom in you and it destroys your organs. And yes, depending how long it was before he was given the toxin, he could be screwed for the rest of his life. So I just don't get it. I will never understand that. It's one thing to appreciate animals, but why do you need that many snakes? And I wouldn't have a venomous snake in my house. It was for, you could pay me all the money you wanted to. I wouldn't do it. I don't mind snakes. I mean, I think snakes are needed for, keeping bug population, but that's just ridiculous. This guy deserved to get what he got, which, could cost him his life when it's all said and done. Here's one that this is bizarre. Pastor 61 is arrested in his Vegas hotel room with guns and drugs by counter-terrorism cops. What is wrong with these people? Hey, he looks like Eddie Money. Maybe Eddie.
Depends what kind of pastor he is.
Well, I could say he's past something. He's past his freedom. Evangelical pastor was arrested in Las Vegas on gun and drug-related charges after counterterrorism police were called into his room. David McGee, 61, senior pastor at the closed The Bridge Fellowship outside Winston-Salem, North Carolina, was arrested on August 20th at the Strat Hotel. Oh, man. Why? I guess because of the drugs. Drug and counterterrorism detectives responded to the hotel after McGee reported a piece of property missing, according to the documents. McGee told police he was visiting Las Vegas from North Carolina and had arrived in a private jet to find his missing daughter. When asked if he had any weapons in the room, he reportedly told officers that he had a gun stashed in his guitar case. Hotel employees had previously warned McGee about their firearms policy after he allegedly brought a shotgun to his room days earlier. Oh, man. Presence of firearms, which included an AR-15 with a scope, prompted the officers to suspect McGee was planning a shooting similar to that occurred in Las Vegas October 1st, 2017. During that incident, 64-year-old Stephen Paddock opened fire into the crowd attending the Route 90. I remember that Route 91 Harvest Festival.
It's the worst. It's the worst shooting spree in the country.
That's just crazy. Well, he's not going to be doing that. Looks like he's going to be going to jail. So.
Did it say the church was closed?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and they would be if they were open. They would probably be closed now anyway, because.
I wouldn't want to be associated with that.
Yeah. Tell me about it. That's crazy. I don't understand these people. You know, maybe he was afraid there would be snakes in his room.
Yeah.
This is a new one. This next one's a new one. Just happened. I just got it right before the show started. It's really strange, some of the things that we see. Tractor trailer plows into a highway sign, ripping raised bed off the cab. Now this is weird. This guy had this tractor trailer with a lifting bed, and he was driving down the road with the bed extended up, so it ran into the sign. Here's the damage. There you go. Just took out the whole sign. People really aren't early risers. Our work might suffer a bit when our minds aren't running at 100%. However, some of us drive tractor trailers for a living, where mistakes are never small. A 62-year-old Virginian is facing reckless driving charges after plowing a raised trailer bed into a highway sign last Thursday. I mean, take a look. This is freaking so weird. I mean, I was trying to figure out how he got his truck way up there, and then I read it was, he extended the bed up because
he's lost his career.
Yeah.
He's going to lose his house.
Yep.
And he's going to lose time because he might go to jail.
Yeah. I mean, I can't understand why. I mean, you would have to know the bed was up. I mean, up that far, you got to know. You got to feel the wind resistance or something. Just crazy.
You can't fix stupid.
No. It says here, the crash ripped the trailer off the cab around 9:30 in the morning. The bed hit the sign dead center, folding it in half. The trailer was left perched up on its rear, held up by mangled gangtree. Thankfully, no one was injured during the crash. The trailer was pulled off the sign by 11 a.m. Imagine if you're going to work. You're stuck in that line for a long time.
Hours and hours.
Oh, man. That's horrible. No one was injured. The trailer was pulled off the sign by 11, but the highway wasn't reopened until 4:45. 4:45! That's freaking 4, 5, 6, 7. That's like 7 hours of sitting in the... Oh, that's horrible. So he's probably going to lose his job, and who knows what else. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine
he gets two issues. He was involved in an accident, which
Yes.
could lose your job.
Yes.
And then he's charged with reckless driving, which he could lose his job.
Yeah.
He lost his job.
Yeah, he definitely, he's going to be working at McDonald's if he isn't in jail.
Yeah, he's going to be working, yes.
Oh, these people. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this is sad. This one I almost don't want to do because it's sad. 2 toddlers found dead after being left in a car for an extended period of time in Oklahoma. This is sad. The toddlers were discovered by Norman, Oklahoma police officers conducting a welfare check on Thursday. The children were left inside a vehicle on the street in a neighborhood in Norman, about 20 miles from Oklahoma. Per the Weather Channel, the temperatures were about 90 degrees that day. An initial investigation found the 2-year-olds were accidentally left in the vehicle for an extended period. How do you accidentally leave kids in your car?
It's called a brain fart, but it's a brain fart that shouldn't have happened.
And the thing is,
either that or they don't care.
Well, it wasn't their kids. It says initial investigations found the 2-year-olds were accidentally left in for an extended period of time, and were located by the family. The investigation's ongoing. Says the twin girls. Let's see here. Investigators said a family member was supposed to take the girls to daycare, but accidentally left them. How do you, if your goal was to pick up the kids and take them to the daycare, how do you miss that? You know? It's sad.
It is sad.
Because those girls didn't deserve that. Although I remember when I was a kid, my parents would leave me in the station wagon, me and my older brother, and the parents would go in and do their shopping, and we'd be stuck in the car. We had the windows open. We didn't wear seatbelts back then, so it's not as if we were trapped there. But it's fun. It's weird that, you know, so many kids have been dying by that kind of neglect. Crazy.
Well, he's not going to see, whoever it is isn't going to see the light of day.
No.
Because that's 2 murders.
Yeah. It's insane.
Involuntary, but still 2 murders.
Yeah, but you know, that's no better than the Rust thing, you know. Actually, it's worse because it's 2 little kids that, you know.
Can you imagine what the family feels, that it was a family member?
It's sad. So, a rare dime. What do you think? What's the best case scenario for a rare dime?
$25,000.
This one is $50,000. Huge payout expected for a rare coin bought by an Ohio family, Ohio farm family, and hidden for decades. It's 3 sisters from Ohio who inherited a dime kept in a bank vault for more than 40 years. Knew it had some value, but they had no idea how much value. The extraordinary rare coin struck by the U.S. Mint in San Francisco in 1975 could bring more than $500 million. Who would pay that?
For a dime. They're collectors.
Yeah. Well, it says what makes a dime depicting President Franklin D. Roosevelt so valuable is a missing S mint mark for San Francisco. One of 2 without the mark is known to exist. The other one sold in a 2019 auction for $456,000, and then again.
Oh, I was under.
Yeah, that's crazy. $456,000 for a dime. That shows the mentality of our world. Oh, that's crazy.
Things to waste your money on.
Sell that dime in a heartbeat. I'd give them a deal. I'd give them it for 400,
You know,
400,000.
I know this sounds really liberal, but there's people starving out there.
Yeah, I've heard. That's because they have to pay more than their fair share for groceries, apparently. Goes back to your report. Oh, man. That's freaking... Oh, okay, so now the big thing is license plate flippers. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
So people wanting to evade the police put a license plate flipper on their car so that, you can go through the turnpike and they can't get you, or you're trying to evade people finding you. So they put these flippers on your car so that they won't see your real license plate. And they're illegal, as you would think, but people still have them on their car. You can honestly say that if they have a license plate flipper, they're doing something wrong, because normal people don't just put flippers on their plates.
Wouldn't even think of it.
Yeah. Well, I've heard of this before, but this is a big deal. Help drivers evade police, tickets, and tolls. Law enforcement personnel in New York examined a license plate during a multi-agency operation at the RFK Bridge, March 2024. The operation marked the launch of the new city-state task force aimed at identifying and removing ghost cars. That's vehicles that evade detection by traffic cameras and toll readers due to forged or altered license plates from New York streets. So state and local legislators in Tennessee and Pennsylvania are cracking down on the use of license plate flippers that allow drivers to obscure or conceal their license plate at a press of a button. License plate flippers are commonly used for aesthetic purposes at auto shows, where they allow drivers to switch between custom and decorative plates. But across the country, thousands of drivers also flip or cover their license plate to evade detection, whether by law enforcement, toll systems, or automated speed cameras. Texas and Washington explicitly banned the devices in 2013. Nevertheless, it's generally illegal across the United States to alter or obstruct license plate, no matter what the method is. In Tennessee, a law went into effect that bans the purchase, sale, possession of, or manufacture of plate flippers. Lawmakers say they're worried about drivers trying to evade law enforcement. And we don't have any toll roads today. We don't have any toll roads today, but we do have criminals today. Tennessee, the one state rep said, the measure is to make sure that everyone's playing on the same playing field. Under the new law, anyone who purchases a license plate flipper could face 6 months in jail and a fine up to $500. Those caught manufacturing or selling these devices could face up to 11 months and 29 days in jail, with a fine up to $2,500. So you can get a year in jail for a license plate flipper.
Good.
It's funny, though, when you think about it, what'd you go to jail for? Oh, I killed people. What'd you go to jail for? I had a license plate flipper. Talk about being bullied. I would imagine that would be the case. So, yeah, I found that, and I thought that was pretty funny, or pretty strange. But okay.
Well, Mike, it's about that time.
Yeah, it is. I thought I didn't have enough material, but I just started the non-entertainment stuff, so it's kind of weird. I'm going to do this last one, though, because this one is interesting. Let me put it down here. This widow lost her savings due to a scam. And because I'm so anti-scam, I want people to realize these things go on. So what happened was banks missed red flags in the scam that cost a widow $1.4 million. JP Morgan had an example of an octogenarian client who never spent much money and to pull $170,000 in cash in a matter of months. Here's what the scam was. An elaborate scam was they were going after 80-year-old women or 80-year-old people. So Annette Mans became a multimillionaire working in New York's labor and education departments, helping people with disabilities find work despite her salary topping out at $73,000 before she retired in 2017. $73,000 is usually good, but not necessarily in New York. She saved that much by simply not spending money if she could help it. Packing her own food for work trips, for example. She also paid for medical school for her son, whom she had raised on her own after his father died in 1980. She was aware of potential scams, but in one case refused to send cash to someone claiming to be her grandson, claiming that her grandson was in jail and need money quickly. But the scam began in October 2022, was more involved. Someone called Mans that month, claiming to be from JP Morgan fraud department. So since JP Morgan was where she kept her money, it made a lot of sense. The scam, the person called telling her that there was an unscrupulous employee sold her information to fraudsters and introduced her to a colleague who was purportedly a fraud manager. Mans hung up on them a couple of times, but at first, but eventually didn't. Why I didn't hang up to continue? She said, I don't know. There's no way to know. The con men convinced Mans that by going undercover and withdrawing money without telling the bank and other staff members or her family, she could help them catch a rogue employee and other criminals targeting retirees. By that time, her withdrawals of $100 bills weighed as much as half a gallon of milk. Mans was instructed to leave it in a bag by her driveway. The news service wrote, that's what the news service wrote. She watched as someone in sunglasses and a hoodie arrived in a vehicle to pick it up, but didn't note the license plate. Mans also withdrew funds from her Vanguard account to replenish the JP Morgan account, wrote checks directly from her Vanguard, and deposited them in other people's accounts, adding someone named Rand Walter as an authorized user to all her credit card accounts, and then left the purchases from Nordstrom ordered to her house using the credit cards by her driveway for pickup. Mans opened a Bank of America account and funded it with $400,000 to set up for withdrawals, according to the source. The fraudsters coached Mans in how to evade raising flags by telling bank officers the money was for a contractor or for her niece's college fees. And she made up her own explanation as well. Of course, over the course of 9 months, Mans transferred roughly $1.4 million to the fraudsters, most of it passing through her JP Morgan Chase account. While branch staff at JP Morgan and Bank of America did eventually suspect Mans was a target of fraud, no one contacted the law enforcement, though JP Morgan said the credit card business eventually did alert Adult Protection Service about the increased spending on her cards. The bank eventually issued her a check for $225,000 so that Mans would take it to another bank, which she deposited at a regional lender, M&T. There, her attempts to withdraw large sums resulted in Mans being put on the phone with the bank's fraud department. She also opened an account with Wells, funding it with $131,000 and starting withdrawals within a week. In all, 279 days passed between the first large withdrawal and someone contacting her son, who was able to halt the scam over a weekend. Banks are required by the U.S. Treasury to report transactions exceeding $10,000. Between October 2022 and July 2023, Maines made 17 transactions with J.P. Morgan, 3 with Bank of America and 2 with Hudson Valley Credit Union, and 5 with Wells. J.P. Morgan told the news service in a statement that, sorry, Miss Maines fell victim for a highly sophisticated scam, and that the scammers steered her into making misleading statements to the firm's staff. We're helping law enforcement. She's never going to see that money. She was just basically screwed out of her life savings. So it just is a shame because the scammers, they don't care. I mean, they look at us. Most of them are from India and stuff like that. Most of those people think that we're wealthy Americans and we can, it just serves us right. And then that money is theirs. They feel that they have the right to steal their money. So it's just a shame that they go after, people like that have no clue. And I don't know. I just hate that those people were even alive. But on Facebook, I had constantly, well, not constantly, but it's not as bad as it used to be. But I used to get these scammers all the time, trying to tell you, you want all this money, or the government's giving away all this money, and you know as well as I do, government don't give away any money. So it's just a shame that those kind of people are out there to destroy people's lives. But it happens. Anyway, all right. Well, geez, I'm not leaving on a high, am I?
Yeah, you left on a down note.
That is a down.
That's all right.
I'll tell you what. I got this one here. This one's a good one. This one is a positive one. This woman got pulled over by the police, and she was speeding, and she said to him, "Look, I don't have any money. Please don't give me a ticket." So the officer was kind of cool. There's the officer, and there's the girl. And 20-year-old Abby Rutledge was pulled over for speeding 2 years ago by an Alabama state trooper. She had no idea how their conversation would change the trajectory of her life. So here's the whole... Oh, wait, where is it? Where'd the article go? Well, anyway, so the officer, she told the officer, "Look, I'm in a bad situation. I can't pay it." And he said, "I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lecture you, and if I think that you're listening to what I'm saying, I'll let you go." So he pulled her over. He talked to her. He said, "Look, you really should be doing the right kind of things," and told her that she should she should take classes and become a nurse. That's what she did. And and he didn't give her a ticket. And says, "Promise me you'll go to scrub or nursing school and slow down, and I won't give you the ticket." And she promised him that, and she did it.
Wow.
So her little run-in with the police changed her life, made her do something that she wasn't thinking of doing, and she was better. I think it's awesome.
Wow, that's a good story.
Yeah, that's a good one to end on.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I don't like to end on bad ones, and I like ending on a positive thing. And just time got away from me. Well, of course, we started late because the issues I had, but it's funny because I didn't think I'd have enough stories, and I did. Had plenty of stories. And anyway, all right. Well, thank you for checking in. I hope you enjoyed the show, and next week, who knows what we're going to have. It's the week before my think it's a week before my trip. Yeah. And by the way, the week of the trip is going to be interesting. I'm going to leave here probably about 2 in the morning, heading down to South Carolina to see my friend Rich, and then I'm going to go see his band play. And after his band's done, I'm going to continue my trip down to Atlanta. So it's going to be a long week without sleep. So,
Well, just don't let your car drive.
Yep,
Stay away.
that's why I love my car. My car takes care of me. Anyway, thank you. I will talk to you next week then.
Okay.